So you're telling me you're still not a believer, right? I done did 3 videos today. Part one, 1A, 2. This is the third video. So maybe what I'm going to disclose to you in this video will make you a believer that not only you, but some of your favorites, some of your celebrities may have made deals with witches or possibly bewitch somebody. I mean, it's real,
Welcome
y'all.
to
So,
Religion Wing TV, where my spiritual ears stay.
yeah, so just stay tuned, guys, because this video right here is going to be very telling. It's packed with a lot of information, and yeah, it's going to get a little cringe and creepy, but everybody can't just keep talking about the murder, the homicides, the unalivings, without talking about people being oppressed, bewitched, possibly a bitch, possibly a witch, possibly under somebody's possession and mind control, and doing a lot of this stuff. So I want y'all to get ready for this call-in number. If you guys are here, if you guys want to call in, like if you call it now before I tell you to call it, it's only going to go to voicemail, and you can actually leave a message there if you want, pertaining to the conversations we're having right now. All right. Maybe if I put Beyonce name, let me do that. Maybe that'll bring some of y'all over here because I want y'all to hear. I'm gonna rush time and dirty. I want you to come over, feel comfortable, and I want you to be heard about some of the things we're gonna talk about today because a lot of this is going on right within your own personal lives, and you always look for an external solution or someone on the outside to blame when it can possibly be going on right within you. Remember, the spirit and the flesh war against each other, right? So, let me see. Let me go here and add Beyonce name. Let me add, let me see. Definitely gonna add Beyonce. Danae, let's see. How do you spell her name? Danae Jinx, right? So I want to So I want to mess with Barty Gang right now. Let's put Cardi B. Let's put Tituba. Let's put her. She's a real indigenous woman that went through the Salem witch trials. Who else? I already told you guys my story of what I think is possible for me to say there's been people in my life who may have spoke some witchcraft against me or at least tried, right? So let's see. Who else can we put in this title? I want y'all to call in and tell me what you know about Beyonce. I want you to call in eventually and tell me what you know about Danae. Spelled her name wrong. Danae. All right, Danae Jaxn. I want you guys to tell me what you know about Cardi B and Santeria. I want you guys to tell me what you know about Tituba. It's Ti Tuba. Tituba, Tituba. So what do you guys know about? Oh, let me put Kanye West. Because I'm not being biased here and just picking on women. Kanye West has been bewitched as well. All right. So let me see. I might have to take Kanye out. No, let's leave Kanye in. All right, so we got the title. Y'all can see the title. It's updated. Yeah. Let's number off the screen. All right. It's one calling. You can tap on the screen there. If you guys want to support this channel, thank you and God bless you the same. He's no respecter of persons, right? Something else we have to keep in mind and be willing to deal with. So I know there's a lot of live streams going on. But guys, I want to tell you about this whole um situation we got going on. We're 8 minutes in. I'll give it another minute to see if anybody pops in. Thank you. Let me just say, if you're new here, please subscribe, like, share, and comment on this channel, on this video. Subscribe to this channel. Share this content out so that we can get this channel in the algorithm, because channels like mine are hard to find, hard to come across. And when you do, it's channels like these that's true to helping us all get free. We're not caught up in the drama. We're not with the beef, XYZ. We just want people to know, hey, maybe what Christianity told everybody in this world was not the truth for everybody in this world. That's what we mean by you being religion linked, okay? So subscribe. Also, thank you for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. A lot of times I'm over here by myself because I haven't sold out or made any deals with any platforms that's operated by witches or any people on social media that's into that mind control and just manipulating people and being deceptive. So it's going to take us a while unless you get involved. You come to life, you wake up, you stop being embarrassed. There's a lot worse looking people like me, worse talking, behaving people. All I want to know is, how do you feel about some of these subjects that I be bringing to light? Sure, let's talk about the Idaho 4 case. Was it a good idea? Let me turn this down. Was it a good idea? Was it a good idea? Is it a good idea for any teenagers? So it's trying to tell me I don't have much reception. It's trying to show me my bars are pretty low, but the bill is paid. I don't know why. It works for everything else, right? But is it a good idea for anybody to live in a house, home, apartment where the windows are exposed and people can see right in and right out, especially suspects, possible, illers or whatever? Is it a good idea? Is it a good idea? Is it a good idea? Is it a good idea to sleep with your windows or even during the day uncovered? That's just a simple question. We're talking about the Idaho 4 because a lot of what I see on social media, especially YouTube right now, Idaho 4, Shanquilla, Takeoff. But if you take a moment to see that a lot of people possibly in those cases may have been bewitched, may have been under some possession, under some emotional control, under some fear, because what witches and warlocks and people of that, I don't want to say caliber or entity, they like to harm you with what they do. So when I look at the Idaho 4, hey, it happened. But I bet you somewhere deep down underneath all of what we see and what we're hearing, even though that man have a PhD and something about him going to college and him wanting to know if people can, the frat boys asked him, how do you get away with murder? All that right there, possession. Somewhere along in his life, it turned over to witchcraft. It turned over to, I want to harm somebody. I told you, I believe there's good witches out there that's not harming people, but I also believe, like in the Shanquilla Robinson case, I asked you, did the family have anything to do with it? When I look at masonry, when I look at fraternities, organized Greeks, I don't care if you're black or white, generally when there's a frat around, there's gonna be murder, death, kill, 187. There's gonna be witchcraft. There's gonna be demonic activity. Shanquilla may not have been in a frat, but somebody in her family, the colors show it, the interviews show it, the signs and wonders show it. Hell. So I asked you, did her family have anything to do with it in any way? Not that they may have murdered the young girl, but are they capitalizing off of it? Are they putting colors out? That pink, that yellow, that blue, the checkered floors, the red, the that suit mama had on. Are they pushing something, some agenda beyond her death, whether they had something to do with the physical death or not, or plotting and planning thereof? Or some witches just sit around and wish your ass was gone so they can capitalize on your money and the fame that you were elevating to. I don't know. Shit seems weird to me, y'all. We can talk about the takeoff case. Cardi B ass was there with them long blue fingernails on, and with that pocketbook she was throwing up. Even though it go down like this, up like this, they be trying to maneuver them fingers so they not actually seen on camera, but seen on camera, if you know what I mean. But trying to disguise it. Why these demons and devils always trying to disguise something? Y'all seen her three fingers pointing down, but I bet you she had that circle, that other nail circling back, connecting to her thumb or her wrist part of her hand somewhere. Go look at that picture yourself. I don't spend a lot of time looking at stuff like that. It comes across my desk. It's made aware to me, but I got a greater fight. Paul says somebody bewitched you in the Bible, and you same people are the alleged Christians he was talking to then. And Bible said, let's can't talk the root of the problem. Love is the root of all evil. Well, why y'all out here caping for money so hard? Have you been bewitched? The church is the biggest money go getter. Go get that money. You remember Mary, get that, go get that blessing. You better get it. Most people form a blessing in the black church is money. They don't see the goodness and mercy that shall follow them all the days of their lives. So when I started putting together this video right here about witchcraft, I want to know. I want to know what is going on. So, all right, let's get right into it. Let me share my screen, and I'm going to start to bring up some things that may seem familiar to you or may not seem familiar to you. All right. Let's just go here. I don't know if you guys can still see me on screen or not, but okay. So let me go here. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. You guys have nothing to say. You don't believe that. Well, most of you probably don't know what real witchcraft is, and I've explained it in at least 3 videos prior to this. I've been at this thing all day. I'm gonna try to wrap it up by today because I go back to my traditional job tomorrow. I've been off since December 22nd. I know you guys see me on my community wall, but you haven't seen me. And there's reasons for that. So let's just start here. I just want to make sure you guys can see me. We got the right screen up here. Absolutely. The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruits. Death are life, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So, what is God talking about when He says this? And of course, this is out of God's, instructions for our lives. Is coming out of Proverbs 18 and 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. But I also told you, if you go back to Deuteronomy 30 and 19, he sets before us life and death. Heaven and earth is our witness, the Bible says, and it's up to us to choose. Some people chose God and stayed with God. Some people got bewitched away from God and chose Jesus, and that's it, and that's all right? And that's what we have going on in this world today. People trying to remember their identity, keep their identity alive, their ancestral background according to Old Covenant and the Hebrew Israelites and God, Yahweh, the Messiah. And someone came along and somehow bewitched the people to go against God, not even go against God. Actually, remember, witchcraft is used with harm through slavery, through hard life, and all that. They made people forget who their God was, who they are, and in turn replace the whole story thereof with different characters. So when God says that the tongue produces life and death, yes. And once we begin to learn that again and begin to use the words of God with your life, you can defeat any enemy and cause them spiritual death. And that's the God's honest truth, y'all. This stuff don't have to stay with you. People are choosing to be the children of disobedience, the Bible says. People are choosing to be opposers of God. And the only other kingdom out here that's opposing God or that people are flocking to knowingly and unknowingly is the kingdom of darkness, is the kingdom where the witchcraft and the sorcery and all of that is coming out of. And this is what God means when He says in Exodus 22 and 18, suffer not a witch to live. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. What does that mean? Put it in the comments. When I open up the call lines, if you want to talk about it, I be sitting back watching everybody have so much shit to say. But when I come before the masses and ask the right questions and point out the right things that may be affecting you personally and in your broader life or whatever, job or whatever, it's hard for y'all to show up. It's hard for y'all to comment. And I know it's a lot of dogs out there that need to be hit with this. They just ain't hollering because you're ashamed. Again, brainwashed. Long as I got my house, long as I got my car, long as I got my money, long as I can make a duck lip, long as I could twerk on the gram, long as I could beat my face, long as I not realizing a lot of that comes with witchcraft and mind control and emotional control at the end of it. I said in one of my videos earlier, how the hell can Kanye West make a deal with Bell and Siaga? See, that's what Balenciaga did. It took the name of Bell, and I know a lot of you don't know that there's a guy named Siaga. They spell it Ciaga. But again, what the devil do is deception, wordplay, Santa, Satan, same thing. But you won't believe it's the same person. That's witchcraft, manipulation. They took a god Bel, Siaga. Bel, remember, they was burning kids in the fire and they went a whoremongering and a fornicating with this guy Bel. And it's funny how Kanye would spend a lifetime with witches and warlocks, allegedly like Jay-Z and Beyonce, and then make deals with Bel and Siaga. Bel, you know the god of Bel Peor and all whoever Belloc and Balaam and all these Beelzebubs and everybody else in the Bible, right? It's funny that he don't even realize all these years a guy named Bel and Siaga makes a brand that comes out targeting y'all children at the end of it, just like they was burning and sacrificing the children back then. See, Siaga is the god of guard. Bel is the god of you wayward ass Christians and children of Israelites who don't want to believe that you're of old covenant. He got y'all led astray. So when you put the two guys together, Bel, Siaga, which means guard, is guarding the Israelites like hell to make sure we don't come up and out of this witchcraft that's been bestowed upon us from the days of even the Bible. Listen to what I'm saying, y'all. God would never have put in the old covenant, suffer not a witch to live. There was somebody back then trying to bring it into the camps. He said no. What does Paul do? Fast forward. Tell you to do away with everything God says. And it all started right there in the freaking church. Under the same Vatican and Roman rule that Miss Vicki Dillard is now pushing y'all to follow and hashtagging on some of her posts. So we're going to get into some things, but God says, suffer not a witch to live. And I know some of y'all think I'm a witch. That's why you don't want to see me live on these YouTube streets. But it ain't up to you. It's not up to you because I understand what's going on. I told YouTube itself a long time ago, your algorithm don't match up to the souls. I mean, the numbers and the souls, it just don't add up. You got billions of people on your platform, but it's very demonic. Go figure. So why would I want to dance with a devil with a blue dress on or a red dress on or a pink dress? I don't give a damn about y'all like that. We can have the conversation, but ain't nobody gonna be controlling and manipulating nobody. If I was to come out here and play with my titties and be all in my crotch and all this right here, and that's manipulation just to get you to sub to my channel with expectations that you may get a glimpse of some more. Why is it hard for people to come out here and talk their way to where God wants them to be without selling out, selling their soul, making deals with these underlords? I mean, it's so much to get into and unpack, and just so take the ride. And I said when I read this earlier in another video, why would in verse 19 it says, whosoever lieth with a beast? So is God calling the witch a beast? Or is he referring to surely put them to death, whoever lie with the beast? Bestiality. Most witches in the underworld and paganistic wicked people, even the Romans, do this kind of thing. And see, it's all right for white people to have Black history about us. Like, I'm going to bring up a young lady named Sarah James Barton. I believe her name was Sarah Barton or something like that, where they used to truck her around Europe, putting her on display. Oh, we could talk about that. But when we talk about the people that did that, we're the inhumane ones, but you don't see no inhumanity or no cruel and inhumane behavior in those people, do you? No, that's what his channel. We bridge the gap with that. It's no longer making a mockery of black people. Taking what God at one point was a good thing. You got Baal talking about he a God. You got Joshua. All praises due to the Most High God. Put some water on y'all altars. I'm about to show Balenciaga something right now. Balenciaga and any other dang on God you bring my way. Y'all haven't learned from Pharaoh that I am God. I am that I am. Leave me alone. Put water on Baal altar. Put water on your altar. Wet them up 7 times, 10 times more than you was going to wet them up originally. And whatever Joshua said, whatever he said, God allowed the fire to come down from heaven. And see, when white people back in the day, such as Paul in the church and Simon, remember Simon in the book of Acts, where Peter told him and his money gonna perish and rot in hell because he out here trying to mimic what the Holy Spirit can do through the Most High God when it comes to a black person performing a miracle or doing something supernatural. They started calling it black magic, but told you it's dark. Don't do it. While in their secret societies, that's all they do with these animals. And then God says in verse 20, he that sacrificeth unto any God, save unto the Lord only, he shall be utterly destroyed. And black people, we keep wanting reparation. We keep wanting a way out. We keep wanting. But until we get back to obeying the laws of the Most High God and the teachings and the instructions thereof, this witchcraft is funny. It's crazy how they can take God, his teachings. This is the church, the Abrahamic covenant and all of that, but tell you to do away with the laws. And when you start doing away with the laws, you start suffering witches to live instead of not live. And that's how it's on the rise. And that's how I'm going to introduce you to a fourth generation witch right here on YouTube. Seems like a pleasant lady. And like I said, the Europe's and a lot of the medieval ages, and I'm telling you, this goes all the way back to Bible days for God to say this over in Exodus. We was down in Egypt. Remember this. We were just leaving out of Egypt. So where would we learn witchcraft there? They said Egypt got the Talmud. There was a lot going on. God said, no. We can't have that. The 12 tribes, listen, you're a peculiar people, a holy nation, a royal priesthood. We ain't doing it over here. And then the church come along and everybody is out there doing it and don't even know you seducing people with it. Suffer not a witch to live, okay? Whosoever lie with the beast. Is he calling witches beasts? Are y'all out there laying up? I'm just giving you the facts. I'm not making this up. Most times when you read in English, he says, suffer not a witch to live. The very next verse, is God going to jump on and just talk about bestialities, or is it in some kind of connection to a witch being a beast, as well as lying with a beast? And you see all the mythology and the beastly people and gods they put before you, right? But God says, he that sacrificeth unto any God. Black people in church, you done sacrificed everything to another God. And they told you that God is not coming back. When he come, salvation will be with you. No man know the hour. They didn't say he not coming back. Just nobody know the hour. It's funny the church know the hour to every damn thing else you got going on in your life, but can't tell you exactly to give you that hope and expectation you need. Why they don't want you to have that when it comes to this said Jesus, or even the Messiah, because they tricked you and told you his birthday was allegedly around Christmas. They tricked you and don't want you to know the exact date he rose. That's why he hop around like the bunny rabbit. Sometimes Easter's in February, March, April, May. The man died once and rose once. Like some say twice. That Bible said it fresh means again, right? But anyway, he only rose once. Why are we doing in several different months? But you being bewitched and indoctrinated to believe one side, because Paul said, don't take from it, don't add to it. So you think that's your truth. And it's not. It's not your truth. They added to the old covenant and gave you a whole lot more than you really needed. Now, there's some good things in New Testament. Don't get me wrong. But they added a whole lot you could live without and told you don't add to it, don't take from it. While they was giving you the lies, they was taking your resources. They were breaking you down. They were brainwashing you. Another form of witchcraft, people. All right, so let's carry on. I don't know if you guys are in the chat or I don't see anybody yet, but shout out to those who are watching. If you're watching, it's all good. I believe my teachings are excellent, and when I tell you, when they eventually catch when they eventually on, it's gonna be a beautiful thing. You're gonna see change. Right now, just about showing what an epic Idaho 4 case without talking about God is an epic fail. Talking about Takeoff or anybody else that lost their life senselessly, untimely, and way too soon for whatever reasons. At this point, talking about anything without God is an epic fail. So, y'all got to get into this, all right? Let me take a break. Let me come back into the studio. Oh, wait. I know what I want to do along the way. All right, so I don't need that. I can close that out. I'm going to start putting some of these links for you down below so I can actually shut out some of the tabs because it's a lot. Uh-oh. Oh, I forgot to plug in the music tablet. Ugh. All right, I gotta do that. No music for now, guys. But let me go ahead and do this. Put this link here because we are done with that one. Side of the description box. All right. So I mentioned Kanye West just a little bit, but we're gonna Monroe. Shout out to Storm, but Storm Monroe had put me up on the Kardashians a little bit and the whole witchery thing going on over there, the crystals, the candles, yada yada yada. And again, it's not so much what people do. I have crystals, but it's what you say over those crystals. Well, I had one blue crystal stone that I had got from this church or whatever, but I told you I started going through here throwing that stuff away because the only point of contact I need is my spirit to be lined up with the word of God. That's all you need. And sure, you got things that help you comfort yourself through that. But if you put stones and candles and crystals and everything else before your God or your word, how much justice is your God gonna do for you in return when you're relying on your money or you're relying on resources or mediums or OBO workers or root workers or what you know? And at the end of the day, you're still saying, oh, God, help me. That's crazy to me. So, this right here is, let me see, Exodus. I'm gonna try to label them for you. Exodus 18 through, was it 20? 18, 19, 20, yeah. All right, so that's there. If you guys want to go read that yourself, and I can actually take it off my screen because we're done with that. Now, the next thing we're going to get into is celebrities like Kanye West and a lot of other people have been bewitched, have hooked up with known practicing witches or warlocks. And we all know the famous interview Vicki Dillard did with the Dark Lord, okay? And how she said basically coffee. They do rituals over coffee or something like that. And I was like, y'all better stop drinking that shit. And I finally did, thank God. I'm still weaning myself off. I had a cup yesterday and I ran out, so I'm not gonna go back and buy any. So it is what it is, y'all. When you hear people say certain things like that on the scale that them two have and the reach that they have, you don't know what's going out or what coffee brand or even if you buy the coffee they selling, be careful, all right? So that being said, this stuff is real and it's more powerful with words than it is actions. They can get up and do anything, but when they start saying, that's where the real problem comes in. So eventually, or at some point in time in Beyonce's young life, B wanted beauty and fame, like most young girls. And I'm sure we all or people have said, if I'm beautiful, if I get rich and famous, I will do XYZ. And there may have been a witch or somebody standing along, hearing you say it and making it happen along the way. So when it do happen, what? They show up and they want what you said it is you were going to give up at the journey of your fame and beauty and all that other bull crap. So I told you, God give you ashes for your beauty. But most people are living life on social media through their booty. And that's not going to work for y'all. All right? So this woman, years ago, Beyonce said what she said. Now, again, I told you in one of the prior videos that it's like a skit. I read you some of the comments. People believe it's real. They believe it's serious. Again, I mean, go all the way down to like some of the bottom comments. Some people said, why don't I find this hard to believe? Others said, I love the reporter's empathy. It just, I'm going to link this video as well. So it's going to be the shocks of this video in like 2.2 seconds. But yeah, Beyonce made a deal with a witch, allegedly. Okay. Maybe not once, not twice, but B is known for doing witchery and dealing with witchism in Hollywood in order to sustain or keep what she has built. Now, let me just put it like this. Beyonce made a deal. I'm just gonna label it like that for that video. All right, but that's there. Now let's go ahead and listen to this video. I'm gonna try to keep the overall videos about an hour long. We got a lot to get through. When I told you back in October, maybe it was November 2nd because we went over the text messages in the other video, right? Maybe it was November 2nd. I started researching what is witchcraft? Why is this happening? What's going down? Yeah, and I think I was doing it a little bit before then because right around, well, Takeoff's murder was there. Um, it was something else happened in October as well. Besides me thinking that was when the phone call went down. That text message didn't go down until November 2nd. That's when I really got on my computer and just started witchcraft. What is a bitch? What is the meaning? What's this? What's that? What's that? And every time I clicked, of course, my research grew bigger. So we have a lot. And when I tell you things just started falling on the computer, falling outside my door like a black feather, I told you about earlier today, it got crazy over here, right? And so I want to start my new year off addressing any negative energy around us, any negative comments about us. Remember, it's not so much the weapons being formed, you can't avoid that, but that tongue that shall rise up against thee. In the same verse, it says, thou shalt condemn. So people are rising up. Not only are they forming weapons when they conjure up stuff against you, that's one side of it. But when they start speaking over what they do, is the most crucial part of the witchcraft or ritual or whatever. Um, it's words producing life or death, not people's actions per se. All right. God didn't say what you do produce life or death. He said what that tongue do. All right. So let's get into Griselda, the witch, who granted B her fame and fortune. Lord have mercy. You can't make this shit up. It's the internet, y'all. You cannot make this up. This video was 10 years ago published. It's right there. You can see it for yourself. So this man came in with the funny shit, like, cause you gotta see his face. Y'all see his face. He came in. This the part I'm like, when they brought the cartoon of her picking berries and all this. I'm like, you know what? Anything to get your point across, right? A lot of y'all know y'all done stood in the mirror, looking for Candyman. And what's that other one with the Bloody Mary and all that stuff? I've done it when I was a child, and I swear, when I knew better, those were some of the first things. I don't want to be evil. I don't want that side of me. Nah, nah, nah. I barely. Why I do true crime. I do true crime. Call it sick if you want, but I do true crime. And that's about as far as I'll go. Like all them Halloween scary movies and all that. Like keep that. But yeah, I do true crime, and people will say, "Well, why do you do true crime? It's worse than fiction." Well, you got to remember, it's some people behind that true crime doing what they do. It's people losing their lives. You have an opportunity to pray, have an opportunity to get involved, help solve some of the cases, XYZ. Anyway, we've all been there where we probably said, but we might have said it to the wrong entities, or the wrong people were listening and got the moving on your behalf, making you think it's of God. And at the end of the day, you get up there with Kanye and Balenciaga and start saying you a Hebrew Jew, and you realize how fast the devil gonna start coming for you, okay? Hmm, watch this. And part of me want to believe that, like, there's a lot of black young women coming up in the ranks of beauty, fame, music, television. I got a joke for Beyonce, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Meg the Stallion. They all out here. Now, none of them told y'all children this, and I'm going to get back to Beyonce and how they are climbing in the ranks of hooking up with older men, hooking up with men who sold their souls a long time ago, like Jay-Z, Lucifer, Son of the Morning. Um, they're just climbing on this false hope of its fame, its beauty. But then when they get up there and they see that it's not solid, it's not, they're still unhappy, they're still searching and seeking with no way out. And to keep from losing face, they're going to keep doing what they're doing because they're ashamed. Kanye tried to kind of get out of it, but again, once you up against Bell and Siaga, baby. But I believe personally that B may have done this. Let me know what you think down in the comments. It's funny the way they talking about it, but it's real. Some of y'all know some people have sat in the comforts of their own homes and said stuff like this to you, or got you to sign off on something, or agree to something. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and let the rest of that y'all can play that yourself. I'm not gonna go big to it. It's a little bit more to it. But I want to go ahead and bring you guys to, do I want to come here? Yeah, start off a bit of witchcraft, Bibles about witchcraft before we actually get into all the other definitions and words that are synonymous to this word. And when you look in Google, you're going to see some of the words grayed out as if it no longer goes along with the word witch or bewitching. And I'm trying to tell you that there is just one word we overlook, and we don't want to consider it witchcraft, but it is. And when we get to that word, I'm going to let you know. So before we go any further, my music shut off. I just want to check the chat, see if there's anybody in. Shout out to anyone coming in or who will come in. God bless you. I may, oh, we got 9 minutes. I'm glad I checked the time. 8 minutes. So let me go ahead and get to this right here. You guys should be able to see this. Witchcraft in the Bible, scriptures on witchcraft and magic. The worship and seeking of supernatural powers other than God have been around since the beginning. And I told you, it's always men trying to mimic what God does. And they found a way to resurrect people from the dead, even. but they have not yet found a way to clone the breath of life into people, the original breath of life. They haven't got there yet, but from resurrecting people from the dead and putting them over to church, it's so much going on in Christianity when it comes to magic and this witchcraft. Okay, go read Galatians. Oh God, is it 5 and 18? Something like that, through 22 or 23 or 6 or something. But anyway, Satan has used witchcraft to prevent people from finding holy spirituality in God alone. And this is the whole reason why this stuff is going on, y'all. And y'all think it's a game. And all you have to do is tweak a little bit of what you do in your life. Start to turn things around. Be not conformed to the world. Remember, the Bible even says that, right? But a lot of people are conformed to this world and the witchcraft thereof because of the witchcraft. He uses witchcraft such as mediums, horoscopes, and games to entice people away from God and toward a power that gives self-enlightenment. I got a neighbor, she call herself God. When I say God bless you, she get a little offended with that. Like, all this self-enlightenment, y'all don't know where the shit is really coming from. And if you out here sacrificing anything to any other God, God says you will surely be destroyed. So I don't understand where the anger and hostility comes from towards people who showing you in black and white, showing you the receipts, showing you, like, I have no reason to make this stuff up. Y'all won't believe us, but the people that get on here, and what did the devil do? Play games with y'all. Y'all want to see rise to the top and wonder why people like such as black people can't come from the bottom, can't come from the gutter overall collectively. Not that we're all going to be there, but our culture, race, and people don't always have to be under the foot of somebody else. So, the Bible speaks often on the consequences of following false idols and falsehood. And until you realize that a lot of the Bible, especially part of the New Testament, is nothing but false hope. Satan was strategic when he put together the church, especially according to Galatians 1 through 3. Oh, who bewitched you, oh Galatians? He call them foolish people. And remember, the Messiah said, don't call anybody a fool because you're in judgment of rock and hellfire. But yet Paul calls the people in Galatia, who was the people living there? We're going to get into that as well. But he called them, oh, you foolish people, who bewitched you? Knowing damn well he was handing people over to Satan to be bewitched. According to 1 Timothy 1 and 19, 1 and 20. So they played this mind game with this Bible, with this religion, with this way of life to ship you, to whip you up in shape and make you a better person. Why isn't this same game they played on us and our ancestors making them better people? Because it ain't for them. It was a tool and an instrument to go against God and cause you not to worship God through false idols, falsehood, this alleged brotherhood the Bible talks about, right? I'm starting to realize now that's more of the secret societies and shit they had going on. But we had to respect that and honor that whenever we came across that, like the KKK, like Masons. Where these people get off putting this at in the Bible? That's not of God, but yet through witchcraft and the persuasion of you believe it is. So the Bible speaks often on the consequences of following false idols, falsehood. Read the scriptures, verses below, to better understand the importance of seeking God alone. And that's why I go hard. Don't come over here trying to feed my flesh. If I look good, don't look good, whatever, whatever, woo, woo, woo. I don't care about none of that, yo. Get right with God. And you will start to care less about that shit too. It doesn't matter when these people come down and go for your soul and go for your firstborn and go for this, that, and the third, or even rise up against you because Kanye waking up, Kyrie allegedly waking up. They saying that Shanquilla Robinson case, he was dead ass sleep because he was used as a tool for them to promote their agenda of witchcraft and fraternities and masonry and all that stuff. So, it is what it is. I'm only here to try to help you, all right? Saul died because he was unfaithful to the Lord. He did not sleep. He did not keep the word of the Lord and even consulting a medium for guidance. Remember when Saul went to the witch of Endor or whoever the hell she was, alleged prophetess? Prophetesses can be witches. Haven't we all seen how Juanita Bynum allegedly move around here and get down? And she's not the only one. When we get to Derek Jenks and how she tried to come at y'all with the Bible, but she let the anger take her over into a whole nother teaching that ain't nothing like that in the Bible, okay? Even God didn't use the way she wanted you to die. It's nowhere in the Bible. She done made up some whole new other shit on y'all. So you gotta be careful. First Chronicles 10 and 13. These are just a little bit. I want to make sure we are on the same page. Hold on. So these are just the little scriptures you can roll with that talks about witchcraft and talks about people who really love God and people who don't, because people who love God wouldn't be unfaithful like Saul. People who love God would keep God's word, unlike Saul didn't do. People who love God won't consult mediums. People who don't love God have a right to do what the hell they want to do. But if you say you love God, why are you out here doing it? So it's nobody else but you. You got to get right with God. Pastor ain't going to tell you this. He wants you unright with God. So you'll keep going to him dependent as if you need a savior or a covering. When the word of God is covering you, or should be covering you more than anything. And it's not going to lead you down a bad road. So 1 Samuel 15:23, for rebellion, listen y'all, is like the sin of divination, and arrogance like the evil of idolatry. Because you have rejected the word of the Lord, he has rejected you as king. And a lot of black people wonder why we just can't get that dominion back. Black people, the men, okay, kings, they mention kings here. Black men, a lot of them are gay right now, playing in the LGBT community. Those that aren't are taking out their spouses left and right. You hear baby daddy, somebody that loved this woman and her kids, killing them all. And you hear a lot of that going on. The rebellion of these said black men, allegedly, is like the sin of divination. What is divination? We know it to be like a familiar spirit. And the familiar spirit that black men mostly have on them come from Romans when it comes to being butt broken, introduced into your community, comes from Greek influences when it comes comes through fraternities and frats and masonry. There's a lot of cults and cliques and convocations and all kinds of chaos, contention, and confusion going on that causes people in their arrogance to be like the evil of idolatry. Now we can just get some, the majority of black men to seek kingship again, but they got to do away with the rebellion. How are they rebelling? Well, most of them praise Jesus instead of the Most High God. Most of them are in the church instead of in the temple. Most of them are in the new covenant instead of fighting for the old. All right. He has rejected you because you have rejected the word. Remember, this word you're not going to find in church. Why? Because they seduce you. This word existed before the church. Why would they take you away from it if it was not going to impede on their agenda against you? As they know, if you kept this word, you'd have never sold out your rights, your birthrights like Jacob. I mean Esau. You'd have never did it. You'd have fought for this. Why give you anything else? If this teaching right here was not valuable to our ancestors, why make us forget it? Why tell us it's null and void? Why only go in the old covenant or the old book or the old way of life and get teachings when it comes to the blessings of Abraham and pretending to be somebody else living in Israel? Why couldn't we keep these teachings right here? Because most of us remembering that they would have never been able to succeed with the church. So witchcraft had to come in. And what's that favorite word y'all like to throw around? Who delusioned you, right? I believe that's in the Bible too. Delusional, something like that. But that's where the delusion comes in at. So Samuel 22 and 23 says, "Stay with me, don't be afraid. The man who wants to kill you is trying to kill me too. You will be safe with me." All right. So there's people out here trying to kill people. And because Samson killed 1,000 people with a donkey jawbone, they call it witchcraft. They call it black magic. They call it everything but the power of God working through people supernaturally. You've been religion linked if you still believe anything other. So Second Chronicles 3:33-6 says, "He sacrificed his children in the fire in the valley of Ben." This could have been when they was with Baal, Baal. It could have been when Kanye got with Kim West and Balenciaga, because they not only are they sacrificing everybody else's children, but some say that their children have already been sacrificed. So the Valley of Ben Hinnom practiced divination, again, another form of witchcraft. Well, divination, it says divination and witchcraft. So it's a form of sorcery. It's a form of wizardry. It's a form of, but it's obviously not exactly witchcraft because it's two different words. It says practice divination and witchcraft. So it's letting me know it's the same thing, but it's not the same thing. It's along the same lines of wickedness, but it's two separate entities. And some people could be affected with the divination, with the witchcraft. Saw omens. People are seeking omens. And I told you guys, one letter away from amen is that O, or is that A replacing the O. Amen Ra, Amen, is an Egyptian god. But one of the ways the Egyptians played a role into getting us over here and getting us to forget all this other stuff about the Most High God is to give us amen after every prayer, after every supplication, instead of what used to be so be it. What's wrong with people going back to saying so be it instead of amen? Christian church think their world gonna fall down and collapse, but actually it's gonna keep the world of Christianity afloat because you keep giving the energy to Amen Ra and these omens and all these other rituals in church, and you're not giving enough to God. Does that make sense? So people practice divination. Very well could be your ancestors, our ancestors, those at this particular time. We know they threw people out, children in the fire. That's what it says in Second Chronicles 33:6. So they could have practiced divination because remember at this time they're long gone out the wilderness, right? But while they was there 40 years and 40 nights, you better believe a whole lot of this was going on. And that's why God told that older generation, y'all too far gone into this right here. All this stuff that's still here in Second Chronicles from Exodus, y'all still doing this. Wait a minute. He told the old generation in Exodus, y'all know what? Y'all ain't going to the promised land with that. Y'all got too much of Egypt, too much of the wilderness, too much of outside influence on you. And you think I'm gonna let you to cross over these 12 stones and go fight Jericho on behalf of me? No, because that's exactly what Joshua had to do when he crossed over to Jericho. Crossed over to Jordan, right? But no, I'm not letting y'all do that. Y'all gonna die in this wilderness. I cannot let that travel in life. And little did he know, it was still in the generation. It was still in Caleb and Joshua generation. Shit. They brought us, our ancestors. I always say brought us as if I was there. I probably was. Hell. They brought us over to Jordan and still we're in Chronicles. All right, that's after the book of Joshua, and they're still practicing divination. God is not talking to no outsiders here. He ain't bothered with them because he told you in Deuteronomy, no matter all the people in the face of the earth, I choose you. And we had a covenant. We had a deal with God. And Satan been trying to break that covenant ever since. Introducing a lot of this wickedness that stemmed right from the ungodly people who started the church because Paul couldn't be an apostle, an original apostle. So he started his own thing to go on to be the greatest apostle in your mind because they bewitched you to make you forget about the real Messiah. Even the Bible tells Paul, we thought you were this Jesus. That's how much recognition, that's how much magic and Paul was doing out here to make people think it was of God. But it was divination, it was witchcraft, it was omens, and consulted mediums and spiritists. That's why when people be like, I'm spiritual, y'all, I gotta know. I don't either. I stay away from you. We're gonna talk about what kind of spiritualitist is you? Like, where your spirit come from? And generally, when people didn't do the research or know their God, or you stepped on a toe, or they think you offended them, they get mad. This is your God. We're supposed to be able to talk about spiritual things. He did much evil in the eyes of the Lord, arousing his anger. Y'all don't think God get mad? Why did he say, be angry, but sin not? Don't let the sun go down on your wrath. Y'all want people to be in this picture perfect world as if we can't get mad behind this stuff right here. Somebody bewitched you in the church. If God says it ain't good over in Second Chronicles, why is it good enough now? Why most people call themselves a Christian, burn candles, burn incense, do rituals, got altars, got oh, I'm not against it. Hey, do what you want to do. But that's the church's way of life. That's not of God. So we got to pull back in some of these areas. Leviticus 19:31. Do not turn to mediums or seek out spiritists, for you will be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. This is God speaking to us, y'all. And what do? A lot of true crimes. Now, I'm not saying things don't work and they don't be useful, but God says we don't do that. That's what made us different. That's what kept us apart. That's what set us apart. That's what made us unique. It's getting a little. Let me hold on one second. So yeah, that's what God is talking about when he say, come from amongst that, y'all. It's a lonely place to be when you got the whole world. Everybody's telling you, oh, I'm in a church. I go to church. I'm a Christian. But you see them out here doing the wicked. I can't be friends with that. I made a promise, a commitment to God. And I'm doing the best I can. If God say XYZ, who was Paul to come behind the church and tell us anything different? And then who was our ancestors to keep believing it? Not all of them did, y'all. You know how I give it up over here. But who was they to keep believing the lie and passing it down to us generation? But Harriet Tubman said, I remember what Moses did. The hell with that. I remember something. Something in her clicked a little something, like something is clicking in me. Something clicked in Kanye. Something clicked in Nick Cannon. Something clicked in Kyrie Irving. But every time it clicked and they got the platform to turn millions away from this witchcraft and wickedness, the devil rears his ugly head. Why is that? Who would they have to control and bewitch if all of y'all woke up from the delusion of it? Y'all be out here talking about, oh, you delusional, No, the whole black, I ain't even saying black as in color. The whole 12 tribes was put through this. And they learned it from somewhere. And the ones in church that have leadership know it's wrong, but they know you don't know no damn better, so they're going to keep perpetuating it so they can keep their lifestyle. I tell God every day, I wouldn't mind living in a $4 million house like Sarah Jakes Roberts, but I'm not going to stand in front of the masses and teach them this nonsense coming from the church, keeping my people where they can't even afford to get a damn meal. How does it look? I'm living in a $4 million house lying to people and they can't even afford a place to stay. Something is wrong with that, y'all. I don't have to get to where I'm going based off lies and deceptions and harming people with witchcraft. That's all it is. Harming people. It's going to come out eventually that the church is the biggest enemy against God's people. And what's happening right now? People who had a root, who had a foot in Christianity, like Vicki Dillard, have a big following, y'all. And I ain't no hater over here. I just call it as it is. A big following. People follow her for Christianity, follow her for her so-called anointing, or like I said, the flesh know how to get up and preach you down, baby, without even being anointed. The flesh know how to make you appear wise when ain't no wisdom or power of God in you. But if the masses don't know that, you'll go on and make these people think like, yeah, they of God. And they'll start off in the church, start off preaching from the Bible, but now she's out in space somewhere talking about she doing her earthly realm, her earthly duties. Like, and people run with this shit, y'all. Like, I'll be like, wait a minute, I thought y'all was just Christians. Now y'all aliens. Now y'all home is out there somewhere. Let me tell you, like I told the people of the church, if God wanted you in heaven, why the hell he sent the Messiah down here? He said on earth as it is in heaven. We were supposed to establish that. He did establish that. And then witchcraft changed that. Witchcraft came along and put you back in darkness. I wonder why. Because when the real Messiah, who they hated, who they rejected, came with the real light, came with the real truth, it was too much for the wickedness in the world. Even wicked people was waking up out of that shit. And they said, no, we got to find a way to get rid of that light and turn the world dark again. And that's why this is so prevalent. Now I'm going to read one more. I'm going to get on with the get on. Y'all going to like this one. Leviticus 20:6. I will set my face against anyone who turns to mediums and spiritists to prostitute themselves by following them. This is God saying it, not me. But if you go talk to somebody who been to a medium or who had a crystal ball reading or who had their palm read or who do the tarot card, calling themselves Christians, going to church, getting up on the stage when they win a Grammy, or say, I like to thank God, but practice Santeria like Cardi B. When these people prostitute themselves for following the mediums and the spiritists, the Lord says, and I will cut them off from their people. And we wonder why we look like, why we so cut off, why people cut off, why, groups of us, masses of us are cut off. Why? Y'all think this is a joke? Y'all think this isn't real today? So we're gonna go ahead, hopefully y'all can still see me and hear me. I'm going to give a couple more slides. I'm going to end this, refresh my water, get something to drink, come back with part 2. Actually, I should just do a long hour live. I should do a couple more slides and then have y'all call in and talk about this. Y'all, I always ask y'all, what do y'all want to do? I want to hear from y'all. You can't tell me I've been on YouTube damn near almost 6 years come July of 23 and y'all ain't learned nothing yet? That's very insulting. That's very insulting when I know my commentary is spot on. So now you should be looking at Vicki Dillard right now, okay? Let me go ahead before we move along. I might do a 2-hour, 3-hour live because I am putting these links over here so y'all can go ahead and look at this stuff for yourself. It's a whole bunch of Bible verses that talk about witchcraft. All right, so this one was, let me title this Bible verses. Bear with me, y'all. It's been a while since I've been on live. Been a while since I came live, period, or did a presentation. But I think this one is good. I think it's one of my best. You're only as good as your last video, right? I think I got like 14 views. Another deception. You don't think YouTube over here manipulating my numbers? I didn't come on here and do nothing different yet, y'all, but talk about the truth of God and what the Christian church has done to this world. And then you got this lady out here. Her right here. We about to get to her. Bam. You got this lady, Vicki Dillard, out here promoting herself as a queen, media, black news, politics, occult goddess, dark feminine, Vatican, multimedia, reels, content creator, TV host, podcaster, vlogger, blogger, mindset, Shakti, ancestors, entities, root worker, and breaking. But I'm about to show you something on this Malcolm X post. But first, let me read up here. Vicki Dillard, TV is a media force and on-air personality, both in the earth. This is her writing about herself, okay? She is raising her own self up. Don't seem like God is raising her up, but she's raising up her own self, right? Vicki Dillard TV is a media, a force, an on-air personality, both in the earth, and in the upper realms. And I remember when I was a Christian, I was big on Juanita Bynum at first. And then they introduced this lady named Cindy Trim. I said, oh, wait a minute. Okay, she educated, she coming with it. And then she had my ass out in outer space too much. God wants my heaven on earth. He don't want my heaven in outer space. The church wants your heaven. Your heaven when you die. It got many mansions and rooms for you. That's not the Messiah. That's not Yahweh. On earth as it is in heaven. Lucifer tried to shake up heaven. The Lord said, oh, hell no. You're gone, all right? And he drugged people out. He forced people to go along with him. Some chose to go with him. His mindset, Vicki Dillard, was if I can't be God, I'm going to turn as many people as I can away from God. And I'm going to use people who start off in God and want to be so famous, so bad, so quick. I'm going to manipulate them. I'm going to hook them up with the Dark Lord. I'm going to hook them up with witchcraft. I'm going to hook them up with these people who will help them get there fast. But they won't be teaching God anymore. They'll be teaching you about the outer realms. They'll be teaching you about the upper rooms, the outer realms, the in earth, outer earth, just like Paul, in the body, out the body, baby. Some of these Christians lose it. And then the sad part is when they get pulled from Christianity and into this nonsense, it's like they become mad. This lady went ballistic, started arguing with people, snapping on people, posting stuff, shade. Just look. If you're godly and anointed, you ain't got time to be down here in the earth arguing with these damn people over your calling or your alleged calling on your life. I would never do it. I might argue with you about some other shit. I ain't gonna argue with you about no damn calling on my life because I know what it gives. I know what it is. My recognition ain't coming from man. And that's the only time I'll go to the outer realms or the upper rooms because I know the spirit in heaven bears witness with the spirit in me. That's what that Bible say, but y'all don't want to believe that. Y'all want to go out of space some damn where and get connected with something else. I guess these entities she talking about down here, right? This is why high-profile people, networks, and nefarious entities try and come for me. Now, she talking about Queen Amadaya. The only one say nefarious. Every now and then I hear other people say it, but that's Queen Amadaya. She taking the shade at, right? Ain't nobody coming for you. The Bible says a wicked man run when nobody pursue. But we don't want to admit to that. All these people running around here thinking somebody coming for them, clout chasing them, coming up off of them. The Bible said, Proverbs 28:1, only a wicked person flee when nobody is pursuing them, Vicki. You fleeing all around in every network. You telling people, tag you here, text me here, do this here. You're inserting yourself everywhere. But I don't think it's God ordering the foots of the righteous. Some places God would have told your ass not to go. like over there on your website, having them cult meetings and webinars and stuff like that, where they say you doing the womb, money in your womb and all that. They say it's a little satanic and a little demonic and a little of witchcraft. Multiple planes are unsettled because I'm helping to remake the worlds. Now, Vicki Dillard is out here remaking the world. That's a mindset she have, y'all. But let me tell you something about the Messiah and anybody that come in the name thereof, except for the Christian way, because those antichrists over there, they come to kill, steal, and destroy. But anybody coming in the name of the real Messiah and out here doing the work of the Lord is not going to divide you and cause you to be out here dull. The Messiah came to unify and electrify the people. And when you see these leaders out here dividing and conquering one another, it's not of God. Well, then again, Jeroboam and Rehoboam, them brothers or cousins or uncles or whoever they was, the north and the south, when Judah split, the house of Israel split. 10 tribes went to the north per se, 9.5, and 2.5 went to the south. Jeroboam and Rehoboam, whatever their names is, Boam brothers, they was warring against each other. So I can't say black people ain't gonna be out here, or the tribes of Israel ain't gonna be out here warring with each other. But this is nonsense. Media influence is my means of impacting humanity, and it's a major form of spiritual warfare. You damn right. I told you about 15, 20 years ago, I stopped watching the news because it was the devil's means and his highway of transporting a lot of wicked bullshit to the masses. Wasn't nothing good coming off the news, and still ain't nothing good coming off the news. Especially black media news. Now, when you get the Nick at Night, shout out to you, Nick. They say between her and Mob Radio, she ended the year off with a nice, polite response to Mob Radio. You put the work in, you get the results. And I believe Nick ain't do no witchcraft or magic. Like she said, all she did was bought a scanner, bought a CD burner, and went down to their courthouse and got them documents and came back, sort through everything, and gave it to the masses. But you got people out here using media as spiritual warfare, as a clapback, as to come at other people when they don't see the devil steady coming at them. I'm ready to reveal something special. So today's her birthday. She called it Vicki Holiday. Some people who are shallow-minded will say, well, I've been calling my birthday a holiday shit as long as I can remember. You know what I'm saying? They hate to see other people do stuff. But I ain't like that. So she called today Vicki Holiday, all right? Buy into it if you want to. She says, my birthday. Here on Instagram, so don't miss it. Be sure to select all notifications so you're the first to be on the know. All right. And then she goes on with the queen, hashtag Vicki Dillard, hashtag entity, ancestors, Shakti, breaking, root work, mindset. I read it to you a little while ago. Dark feminine, occult goddess. Okay. Black news. They're trying to tell y'all all of this is affiliated with our inheritance, with our culture, for some people it is. Remember, all people are not the Shemites. Some people got to claim to be Hamites. Everybody can't be a Shemite, okay? Everybody can't be a Shemite. Everybody can't be the 12 tribes of Israel. Somebody got to be Japheth and somebody got to be Ham, damn it. So when I see people cross over like this, and it don't take much but fame and fortune, I think about that video with Beyonce we just heard not too long ago. But this is her Malcolm X quote of the day. Malcolm said the media's the most powerful entity on earth. I agree. Persuasion, witchcraft. They play a lot of Disney movies. They got a lot of subliminals. They got a lot of undercutting, under conniving, under whatever. They got a lot going on with media. All right. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent. And my question to Vicki Dillard is, what is it doing to you? Me and my family used to sit and watch you. Shalom, come on in. I'ma stay. I'ma free the land, people. And you go right into going in on black on white supremacy, using the Bible to help us see the light a little bit. I'm like, yeah, damn, I like her because I know I've been doing the same thing over here. Been doing this. Excuse me. What happened to that? You think I let my 9-year-old granddaughter watch you now? Talking about being in occultists and entities and root working and all that? Like, somewhere we got to draw the line. But my question to you is, has your chase for media fame has the power to make you, who once was the innocent, now guilty? And someone like the Dark Lord, who was once guilty in your book, because you used to speak about that and speak against it, is now innocent? That's witchcraft to me. I don't give a damn what you say. Words are powerful and are playing on the persuasion of people's minds. So I'm going to let y'all dissect this on your own, all right? Like I said, I'm not here picking trouble or picking a fight. I'm going to get to 1K if it's my will, if God wants me to. That's what I'll do. But I'm not going to back down, go along to get along, just to belong for a coin, and no, give up all this good teaching over here and all the blessings that done came my way. Sure, it was a fight. Even up to finding that black feather on my doorstep yesterday. I'm fighting in the spirit every day. I don't need media to fight spiritual warfare for me. I need souls. Because apparently, what we looking at in the world is more dark than light. It's more dark out here than it is light. So that's Vicki Dillard. Y'all, when I tell y'all I got recordings of her sitting over there with one of them damn garter belts on her head, and you just gotta listen to a person. I'm like, damn, she has changed, and what she is telling y'all is not of God, all right? But some of the shit is funny she be over there doing. And like I said, enough respect to Vicki because she does hustle hard. People are reaching out to her. But when you gotta force yourself out there, or when you gotta pave ain't nothing wrong with paving your own way. But she came from a place of Christianity, and I thought God ordered the steps of the righteous, not the devil. Either God ain't ordering your steps, or you demonic and or of the devil and being ordered that way. You can't be having your footsteps ordered of God and be ungodly. You have to be righteous in order for God to order your footsteps. And this doesn't sound like righteousness to me right here. Okay? Because I seen what was once innocent in Vicki look damn guilty right about now. Look suspect. And that's just from reading this post right here. I'm not going to go into all the other stuff. I'm not pulling that stuff up. Maybe one day I'll do a unload the clip and all the recordings and all the short clippings. I just be over here taking notes of like, damn, this shit is wild, yo. So she says in the comment, she says, I'm screaming because this is how I really move. She says, sometimes I forget how magical I am because it's truly my nature. The way the lovely housekeeper I'm health traveling noticed my morning rituals spoke volumes. So she's out there and people noticing her rituals. They ain't noticing her praying or noticing her lifting up the Most High God or noticing her making supplications thereof, praying without ceasing no more, baby. They seeing her doing the obvious, which has become the normal. When they go low, I'm going to hell because y'all shouldn't been messing with me, baby. And this is starting to talk like a person who done crossed over spiritually. And might I add, she the only one commenting. No, let me stop. Cause my shit, it be like one person coming to like my post, so I ain't even I ain't even gonna sit here and cap. She in here by herself though, but she says when they go low, I'm going to hell. And I told y'all when Michelle Obama tell y'all when they go low, no, you go low, 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 like Kiss Daniels Booga, low, 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 Booga one. Let me let me see you there, Booga. Y'all know about that? Another black African man over there doing his thing. And that's what like, y'all heard Akon say African rappers are better than American rappers. And me and my friend, we were sitting here laughing, like, why can't we just be one? Like, why can't we just be Africans regardless of where we are? Stupid to me. But anyway, she says, you don't dare miss it. I hope you're ready. Talking about for today, right? 8 days until Vicki Dillard's very special announcement that was, I heard today, she has pre-sale. Shout out to Vicki for a book. Now I don't know what the book consists of. I don't know if she gonna put her face on the Bible like Juanita Bynum did. I don't know how much the book costs, but she did announce. I saw a video today where she is doing pre-sales for a book that she has being published shortly. Now that's that. We're gonna get off Vicky because I just really wanted to show y'all this post right here. She's at 31.7K subscribers. Kudos to her. It's not hard being on YouTube or any platform trying to sell your truth to people. But when your truth, which was based on Christianity, the Bible, and God, starts to cross over and look like those opposers and lawless men and women she loved to talk about in Second Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 4 through 9, it becomes a problem for some people, and those people usually become confused and they say to hell with God, period, or they get caught. But like Tasha K says she between heaven and hell, and some people really are, and she know I'm only joking with her like that, but she says she caught between heaven and hell. And I'm trying to tell you, a lot of people are. A lot of people are. Heaven is the spirit wanting to do good in you, and hell is the wickedness and the evil where Vicky says she gonna go if you go low with her. So y'all better watch these demons. Y'all don't know what these people is doing in their house, what they conjuring up, who they conjuring it up with, why they can't. No, y'all don't know. Y'all just out here, ooh, I got another one to follow. Ooh, ooh. And immediately when she crossed over from Christianity, because it was a modest dress, it was a 40-year-old woman dress. You know, she was a little hip with it for the most part. She really let loose and let things go. And that's what I tell you, man. One day I'm going to do a short. It's gonna be called with Nicki Minaj and Cardi B and Megan the Stallion and all these motherfuckers should have told you. Told you little girls, pull your pants up and close your legs. Stop twerking on the gram, stop giving out head. Don't go to church though. Oh no, no, they'll turn you out and steal your soul. Instead, my people, do what you heard. Get God in your life and study his word. Even then you're going to have problems, bitch. But that's what they should be out here teaching your damn children. Somebody like me trying to, y'all want to overlook me when I ain't doing nothing but giving you the real on people who got your little kids out here saying shalom, free the land, namaste, ashe. And now all of a sudden they gonna be up in a seminar where you talking about getting in the womb and all this other stuff, and it was real sexual, people said, and real perverted. Like, come on, y'all. Enough is a freaking enough, all right? If I got any damn thing to do with it. So now we come up on the book of Galatians, and in the very first verse, the writer says, "Oh, foolish Galatians." Now, who the hell could that be? Who could that be? Because remember, at this point in time, when Paul started writing his letters, Israelites were scattered everywhere. And for the most part, most people were enslaved everywhere. Oh, foolish Galatians, who hath bewitched you, that you would not obey the truth? Before whose eyes Jesus Christ hath been evidently set forth, crucified among you. Who bewitched you? Why don't you believe in my Jesus? Why is it so hard for y'all not to convert? What do I have to do to make you see the salvation and the glory of the God of the church named Jesus? Oh, foolish people. But when I seen bewitched, I said, oh shit, somebody was being bewitched in the Bible. Now I wonder who those people were. I wonder who those people were. And not only that, if you go down to verse 3, he says, "Are ye so foolish, having begun in the spirit?" See, like Vicki, are you so foolish? You begun in the spirit of God. Are you now made perfect by the flesh? Hell yeah, Paul. A lot of people coming out the church is doing this nonsense right here. They start off in the spirit and then they end up somewhere in the body, out the body, like you, because you put this on the people. You threw a rock and hid your hand behind Satan, because when it said Alexander and Hymenaeus was out here blaspheming, saying that Jesus is not of God and they don't know who that Jesus you trying to resurrect from the dead, y'all turned them over to Satan so Satan could punish them. Why? They started off in the spirit, Paul, and they didn't want to cross over in the flesh and start to believe in a God other than the Most High God. You asking people, are you so foolish? Hell yeah, they are. You wanted them to be foolish because most foolish people are ignorant, Paul. I'm gonna go ahead. Y'all can read this. Y'all can read this stuff yourself. I spent damn near 3 years over here dissecting the Bible. Somebody jumped in my comments. Shout out to Beef Sector Critics, and they said, people just don't get it. I made a post or whatever, and they said people using the Roman Bible to try to teach people. I didn't take that as shade. I gave the comment a heart and kept it pushing. And I'm like, oh, no, I don't use this Bible. There's parts of it you're supposed to use when it comes to Old Covenant and the Most High God. And there's other parts you should be using to debunk the lie and the witchcraft that they put on us as a people to make us believe that a white man is coming back to save us when we know that's not the case. Why can't Jesus get in their heart to help save us now if that was the case? There's no truth to that. No bearing at all. They don't give a damn. They just came up with a lie and bewitched you, and you've been believing that lie ever since. And it's not my fault. It's not my fault. All right, so Galatians is down in this description box. Let's move on. So I'm not even going, oh, foolish Galatians. Yeah, it was some regular Galatians, but predominantly a lot of Israelites was there as well. when he wrote to the Romans. Not only was he writing to the Romans, but remember, everywhere we went into captivity, some of us chose the culture and stayed. Some of us like what they love the Stockholm syndrome and stayed. Some would say the same about us here in America. We like this shit and we choose to stay. But who bewitched you? Are you so foolish? You begun in the spirit, and are you now made perfect by the flesh? This is exactly it. Paul never started in the spirit. He told you he had a vision from a Hebrew tongue. That right there was a lie, because if a Hebrew Messiah spoke to you and told you you could be an apostle of the kingdom of heaven, why did you hand it over to Satan, make Jesus the church, the leader of everything, and turn everything white, Paul? It's a simple question, y'all. Stop being ignorant. When I realized how bewitched I was and how much people had just talked shit into our brains and we stuck with it for years, even down to Christmas, like it feels weird not decorating for Christmas. And I still do have like a poinsettia and I have some little black angels, but I slowly the last 5 or 6 years, I'm done with it. Gave away my trees, gave away my decorations. And I'm talking somebody who had 2 trees. Because remember, I came from a place where I had 3 floors. So I could put one upstairs and one on the main floor. You know what I'm saying? And just giving shit away. Like, it's weird. It's like, man, I've been doing this all my life. And now I know Christmas don't have nothing to do with the birth of the Messiah. If you know anything about the book of Hebrews, chapter 7, verse 1 through 3, or anything about Melchizedek, Hebrews 5 and 10, this shit ain't making sense. But it's all an illusion. It's all bewitching you to make you believe, to persuade you that this is. And it never is not. So we're done with that. Let's move on. Let me come over here and see if there's anybody in the chat. Shout out to y'all. I'm personally kudos to you. All right. So let me go ahead and go through some of the definitions. But first, it's just proof here. Like I Googled who was living in Galatians when Paul wrote the letter. And you could read through and you can read through. And remember, a lot of the letters Paul wrote was to shape people up into to whip people in shape and make them get on board with this Jesus. When you go back and read some of them letters in the New Testament, they're actually trying to convince people, trying to persuade people, trying to harm people, trying to force people, trying to threaten people. He does a good job of disguising it and making it look like it's of God and it's godly. But at the end of the day, when you go back and do your research, and I really mean do your research and read with an open heart and an open mind about everything that's going on in the world with witchcraft, who's the real Israelites, who's the Christians, who, what, why, where, when, and how, that Bible is very telling. All right. So I have to use it. It's the closest thing we got besides the spirit bearing witness to us. But when people just get on here and start speaking from the spirit, you like, where did it come from? Because the church told you God was silent from the book of Malachi to the book of Matthews 450 years. And I'm like, well, God, if that's the truth, why do you all have all these Christians on here like every 2 to 3 hours or every day? God got a new message, urgent. They be like, you dealing with witchcraft. You're going to get your breakthrough. They so bipolar with this shit, it don't even make sense. putting fear in people. God says this, God says that, God. Watch out for this. Be aware for that. Let's fast. Let's pray. Let's do this. Like, if y'all don't knock it off, if you don't get right with the word of God, these people are going to be living off of your back for the rest of their lives. That's what the church birth is for, the leaders to look for weak, lost, broken sheep. Why the black people follow? I don't know, man. Fear. They just want to live. They don't want to die. That's why they commence to going along with this stuff. But like Kanye said today, what is the problem? He said it was a choice. Well, what's his problem? He's still choosing to deal with Balenciaga, to deal with most of the Jews that got him in the predicament that he's in now. I told you, those that hurt you are never going to help you. I don't care how much money they allow you to make. Remember, they're making the most money. And when you cross them, or when you ready to talk shit and say you the real Jews, or you know the truth, they coming for you. So how do black people make it in this world without signing contracts with devils or people who will get mad at you? I thought there were different sects of Jews. I know about Sephardic. I know about Kurdistan. I know about Mizrahi. I know about the Jewish Israelites. I know about the Ashkenazi Jews. Why, when black people say they are the real Jews, it makes some people salty as hell? And if they were the real people, why would it offend you? If somebody look at me and tell me I'm not black, or I'm not the right black person, I look at them like they're crazy. I know I'm black, and I know I am the right black person. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't offend me. That wouldn't make me want to come at you and cause you to lose everything. So, who were the Galatians? Paul's epistles was addressed to the churches of Galatia, or to the members living in several different branches of the church at this time. Remember, it was a a decree. You either become a Christian or XYZ. So a lot of the Israelites who was ran out, remember Paul persecuted the temples. What do you think the people did, and where'd they go? He ran them out the temple to get their butt in the church. I know y'all don't like that teaching, but he was calling most people in Galatia, most people, remember, excuse me, the Bible says that Paul and Peter camp, they was fighting. It was two different doctrines going on. One was preaching the black Messiah, of God. Others was preaching this new white Jesus, taking the place of that one. Some Israelites wasn't going for it, point blank, period. They were jailed, they were beat up, they were crucified, they was killed. So, monkey see, monkey do. Where did it start from? How did it all get started? Jamaica. I don't know. Monkey see, monkey do. Do is a saying that originated in Jamaica in the early 18th century and popped up in American culture in the early 1920s. When we saw the Romans do what they do, when we saw the plantation masters do what they do, when we saw our damn mothers and fathers do what the hell they done and did, okay? It refers to learning something by mimicry, without understanding why it works or concerned about the consequences. And this is what witchcraft is. You got these people on TikTok, and it's just viral all over the place. And these other people see it. I want it. I'm going to do that. Ooh, I'm going to build and don't even know what the hell they doing. Monkey see, monkey do. Originated in Jamaica. That's what witchcraft reminds me of. People mimicking what they see without even understanding or knowing what the hell it is that they're doing. All right, so let's get into witchcraft. We're finally here, y'all. 3 hours in, and I'm finally telling you the definition of witchcraft. I've been saying it, but on this part here, I think I'm just going to show you the similarities of words. Maybe one more slide. I got to take a break, refresh, get myself together, get some more fresh water, and then come back. Because it's a lot, y'all. This is something you just don't want to run through. Like I said, I could sit here and talk all 8 hours, 10 hours, however much, but y'all don't have the attention span to do so. And then on the replay, y'all attention span is even less. So if I'm doing this for myself, because if I don't preach anybody else out of this or into a better position and place with God, I'm going to do it for myself, y'all. And that's not being selfish. So, witchcraft, the practice of magic, especially for evil purposes. And I said, for those of y'all that can do witchcraft, why y'all doing it against each other? Why you ain't doing it against the Vatican? Oh, then you'll be going against Vicki Dillard, and y'all ain't gonna do that. She's out here promoting the Vatican. We just read it, right? Why y'all ain't doing it against the American government? Why y'all ain't do it against the Queen in Buckingham Palace? Why you don't do it against that man that's abusing you or that's woman that? Why y'all doing it against people, innocent people, just to prove you got powers? Evil, wicked people. Joe Biden the one said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Now, if that ain't witchcraft, I don't know what else is. A lot of y'all gonna run out and vote for him. On that alone, I would never vote for him a day again in my life. I would never. I don't vote anyway, but I wouldn't vote for somebody that say that to me, make me question my blackness because I don't want to vote for your white ass. I wouldn't do it. But black people got this thing over them. And I'm trying to tell you what it is. And until you break that cycle in the church where they gave it to you at, I just read it to you in Galatians. Oh, foolish people. Paul called you a fool. But the Messiah said over there in Matthew 5:22, don't call your brother a fool. Are you being judged a rocker in hellfire? Why y'all ain't judging Paul or judge his ass or send him to hell in rocker and hellfire? Y'all let him go on to be the greatest damn apostle ever. I ain't never call you no fool. So, children and goods were believed to be vulnerable to the witchcraft of jealous neighbors. You damn right. Baby, I woke up the other day. Now, you know you got to have a thing where you got to put your television out a proper way. I woke up the other day. I said, these niggas ain't no good around here. 2 TVs was out in front of my little area. Like, I know I didn't put it there. I walked right past them. Came out today. They were gone. Jealous neighbors. You don't know what people are plotting or why they treat you. Hold on. Hold on. The practice of magic, especially for evil purposes, the use of spells. One definition. All right. In modern context, religious practice involving magic and affinity with nature, usually within a pagan tradition. Are y'all going to start to believe that this falls in the lines of Christianity ever? Y'all ain't never going to believe that, right? Bewitching or fascinating attraction or charm. But whoa. I want y'all to look at the words. See all the words here that's grayed out, like blacked out? See, we just read a post with Vicki Dillard called herself the occult goddess, right? But right here it says occultism, but it's blacked out because they don't want you to see how interchangeable and how closely related witchcraft, occultism, black magic, sorcery. What's this? They got black arts. They got the occult. You see on the top line where it's sorcery, black magic. Then there's three blanked out. Wizardry over here is black arts. It's the occult, occultism, witching, necromancy. What's this right here? Hold on, y'all. Voodooism, voodoo, hoodoo, wonder working. That's that wonder working power they be talking about in church with Jesus, right? That wonder working power they be talking about in church with Jesus, right? Y'all better wake up. Divination. We're going to get a little bit more into that because in the book of Acts, Paul pretends like he running away a woman with divination, but Spirit put me up on game, and that's just an illusion. Paul making y'all readers think he ran a woman away, but he the one gave you the damn word and told yo, this is my joke right here. Phoebe, Chloe, his mama, Timothy mama, he said all of them helped him start up the church. And all of them helped with all of this right here too early on. Wicca. Now I remember I used to work at a shelter for the homeless, and it was a little guy in there, and I would sit there, read my Bible or whatever, and he would always come up to the door and talk to me. And then one day I asked him, well, what do you believe in? He said Wicca. Now I'm not scared, but generally I never at that point in time never knew what Wicca was. I had to Google it on the spot, and he was telling me what it is and da 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 da. Nice guy. I don't judge you what you do. He's homeless. He need help looking for apartments and doing stuff like that. That was part of the job requirement or whatever. I'm not gonna take it out on that young boy because he don't believe in God. Like people gonna believe in who and what they want to believe in. But when it says, be ye not, be not be not unevenly yoked, like don't be yoked up with people if you know. And there's a lot of that going on too, out of fear that they don't want to mess up the family home or structure. So you got people together believing one, the wife says she believe in God, the husband may believe in something else. And again, when you do what Derek Jenks' wife did, include witchcraft in with the Bible, you start to spew all kind of hatred and malice and vile stuff out of your mouth. Because remember, the issues of life starts from the heart, comes from the abundance of the heart. And the mouth speaks for the heart, okay? White magic. They don't talk about that though, do they? Natural magic. But look at this. Makuta. What's that word? Thaumaturgy. Thurgy. What's this word right here? The old religion. And for some people, witchcraft is their old religion. And by the time Paul and Satan and all of them knew about this Messiah and put a plot out to kill him and come up with another one, you better believe that was their old religion. They started out in that and then tried to make the world think that this what they presented before us is of God. And when you really look into this religion of Christianity, that's why I tell y'all religion winked if you still out here believing this stuff, man. The only person gonna have a problem with you not believing the doctrine of Christianity anymore is the devils that gave it to you. Because once you stop believing it, their world collapse and yours grow again. You see how that works? Once you come from under their teaching and their doctrine, you grow again as a people. But their teaching and their doctrine got you divided right in the church, and you're never going to grow in that aspect bigger than them again. Remember, this entity in the church, it says Jesus grew with God in favor and stature and with men. This Jesus is a big entity, as Vicki Dillard like to use that word, entity. This Jesus is a big entity, and I wonder why. I wonder how. The old religion was somehow put before the masses, and you made it this way. They tricked you, us, our ancestors. Witchery, dimnery, look at this, diablerie, sortilege. Click on it. Don't ever not click on similar words. Why they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 words blanked out, telling you, no, that don't mean the same anymore. That's no connection. It used to mean that, but no. Let's go on to the next one. So I had to look up the word bitch. I was sitting here over the past month or two singing songs to myself like a bitch is a bitch I see. And the bitch is a witch indeed. What does bitch and witch? They rhyme. Bitches act like witches sometimes. Witches can be bitches. So let's see. A female dog, wolf, fox, or otter. Express displeasure, grumble. They bitch about everything. The first one blinked out here without even clicking on similar words. Be spiteful about. They criticize. They find fault with. They run down. Cast aspirations on. What do witches do? Cast spells, right? What do bitches do? Cast aspirations, right? Speak ill of, right? Ain't that what witches do? Slander, malign, complain, moan, grumble, grouse, grouch, gripe, knock, pull to pieces, take apart, do a hatch job on, wing, badmouth, trash, twine, slag off, rubbish. Those words are close enough to add to the bitch, the witch, the bitch. It's similarities here, y'all. Most people who cast spells or aspirations on people do it with their mouth. They talk this stuff as they mixing potions and stuff, sticking dolls. They're talking out of their mouth, saying something. All right, so that's that. All right, I wanted to show you that there's not too much difference between bitches and witches nowadays. And a bitch can be a witch and a witch can be a bitch. So start looking out and look at the bitches in your life. See who's saying these things to you. See who's criticizing you. See who's finding fault with you. Run down. And these people are complaining and moaning and grumbling and grousing and trying to slander you and malign you so they can control you. It's still a form of manipulation and control. What witches are known for. All right, what is this right here, y'all? Let me come back over here, see if there's anybody in the chat. Shout out, God bless you. I know I'm disappoint you. I'm gonna go a little bit further, y'all. But I really can't go too much longer. But anyway, I want to get into a brief history of the Salem witch trials. Now, let me close my window before I spook myself. Hold on, y'all. Somebody come walking by, look like a damn shadow, like, hey, get the hell out of here. All right, so all of this is going down to us getting into Beyonce, Cardi B, um, whether you know it or not. I think Derek Jenks has been bewitching his wife, Danae. I mean, I just see something there that most people don't see. But for the most part, as I was researching this, there was a woman by the name of you can see it right here, Tituba, the slave of Salem. And I want to get into that with you guys. She's an indigenous woman, of course, like we all are, right? And she suffered over in Massachusetts where all of this took place. So just a brief history of the Salem witch trials, one town's strange journey from paranoia to pardon. October 23rd, 2007, this was published. Updated on October 24th, 2022. They probably updated this shit after I came over here, because I'm telling you, these slides been sitting on my computer for a pretty long time. And if you haven't noticed, Google and other sites, you may look for something today and then they'll remove stuff off the internet where you can't even find it anymore. And that's happened to me a couple of times. So it is important to take screenshots or screen record when doing research like this, because it may be there today, but not there tomorrow. Anyway, the Salem witch trials occurred in colonial Massachusetts between early 1692 and mid 1693. More than 200 people were accused of practicing witchcraft, the devil's magic. But why the hell is it in church? Why do more people? Honey, listen, that's a whole debate and a conversation for itself. And 20 were executed out of the 200. So that's like what? 10%, 2%, 10%, 1%. I don't know. More like 10%, right? So, in 1711, colonial authorities pardoned some of the accused and compensated their families. See, they got reparations. They were accused of being witches and put on trial, but they got compensated. We were accused of being witches and put on trial, and they black people can't get a penny of compensation, right? But it was only in July 2022 that Elizabeth Johnson Jr., the last victim, convicted Salem witch, whose name had yet to be cleared, was officially exonerated. All right? So, just like they're trying to say now that the Idaho 4 case is over with, because remember, Shanquilla Robinson, poor lady, lost her life on when? October 29th? The 4 Idaho students lost their life November 13th, right? Not too far apart there. But it seemed like nobody could get an investigation going on Shanquilla Robinson, but automatically and immediately the whole world joined in on the Idaho 4. So I saw Sean Davy Way, shout out to you. I saw his title and it basically was talking about the Idaho 4 suspect in custody. Now, will Shanquilla have her day? Will she get just due? Will the attention turn on her case now? All right. And it's a shame that we as a society have to point out things like this, okay? Whether it's 4 or whether it's 1, people were unalived. And this young lady had lost her life prior to the Idaho 4. She's black, they're white. Let's just keep it, simple over here. It's not complex to say these words. Again, they put these words in our vocabulary or in front of us for us to use them, and then call us a demon or demonic or mean people when we use the words. Like, really? Sick it is. It's all witchcraft. It's all manipulation. So yeah, some people are saying, well, maybe finally the same news reporters and the amount of people that was on Reddit and social media may get behind this. All right, let's see. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but since the 17th century, the story of the trials has become synonymous with paranoia and injustice. Fueled by xenophobia, religious extremists, and long brewing social tensions, the witch hunt continues to beguile the popular imagination more than 300 years later. Just like slavery and everything else this country puts on its people to bewitch them, right? To cause fear and to cause control and manipulation, I guess. So I told you medieval times. I told you in one of these videos earlier today. Tensions in Salem. In medievals and early modern eras, many religions, including Christianity, taught that the devil could give people known as witches the power to harm others in return for their loyalty. Y'all hear this? Look at your relationships. Look at how loyal you may be to some people, but follow the breadcrumbs and see why. If it's possible for the devil to give anybody powers, you know it's not going to be for good. So, a witchcraft craze rippled through Europe from the 1300s to the end of the 1600s, right when they was about to round up people, right? Tens of thousands of supposed witches, mostly women, were executed. Though the Salem trials took place just as Europe craze was winding down, local circumstances explained their onset. All right, so I'm going to let you guys read into the rest of this. I want to get into Tituba and her story, but before I do, there was a woman named Abigail Williams. In January 1692, there was this plantation owner named Paris and his daughter Elizabeth or Betty, age 9, and niece Abigail Williams, age 11, started having fits. They screamed, threw things, uttered peculiar sounds, and contorted themselves into strange positions. That's more like demonic possession to me. A local doctor blamed the supernatural. Another girl, 12-year-old Ann Putnam Jr., experienced similar episodes. On February 29th, now remember, a lot of people get mental health, witchcraft, demonic possession. It's a fine line between them all, but there's a lot of misdiagnosing going on in the world and a lot of, mislabeling of witches, I presume. But it says, on February 29th, under pressure from magistrates Jonathan Corwin and John Hawthorne, colonial officials who tried local cases, the girls blamed 3 women for afflicting them. Tituba, a Caribbean woman enslaved by the Paris family, Sarah Good, a homeless beggar, and Sarah Osborne, an elderly, impoverished woman. And they want to give you the impartation in your mind that witches are old, saggy, haggy looking women. No, not today, baby. Wait till you see Black Witch Yaya, beautiful black woman. Wait till you see Satin Sanchez. All these women are gorgeous, coming up professing to be witches. So with the fame and fortune and beauty of being an influencer or looking good for the gram or whatever, it's influencing your children in a very negative way. So Sarah Good, Tituba, and Sarah Osborne are the three. Now, I'm almost certain that Sarah Good and Sarah Osborne may have been black as well or indigenous as well, but they're not making that known here. I'm only speculating maybe they were. But Tituba definitely was a Caribbean woman. Most Caribbean people were brought over from slavery during the slavery process. So, and she ended up in Massachusetts. So the witch hunt begins. All three women were brought before the local magistrate and interrogated for several days, starting on March 1st, 1692. Osborne claimed innocence, as did Good, but Tituba confessed. And you know what? I don't know. I just feel in my spirit. If she did, the other three was accused of it too. Why would they come out and say she confessed? I mean, I appreciate her standing in her truth or whatever, but it's the Caribbean slave woman that confessed. All right. So the devil came to me and bid me serve him, is what she said. She described elaborate images of black dogs, red cats, yellow birds, and a tall man with white hair who wanted her to sign his book. She admitted that she signed the book and claimed there were several other witches looking to destroy the Puritans. And I don't know, it might be true, but I just think back then it was a lot of people who they were calling witches looking to destroy the Puritans, the Pentecost. I mean, there was just so many religions forming back then. The Quakers, I mean, it we this generation here is the only one that is complacent with everybody being under one said religion or worshiping one God. There were some people that refused to worship this white Jesus in the form of the Puritans, in the forms of the Latter-day Saints, in the forms of what's the other name? What's the other name for it? Scientology, Mormons, whatever. So they would say, "Oh, these witches are coming for us." You know, I'm speculating a legend here. I don't think necessarily. And then again, I can see where there would be people standing up like, "Hey, we don't want your religion. We do this. You call it black magic. We call it having a relationship with God. You're mad because we have some power going on in us that you have to conjure up. It didn't come from the breath of life. It come from you conjuring up stuff." So I can kind of see where they're always making it out to be them against us. And by right, at one point in this world, it should have stayed that way. Martin Luther King wanting to integrate everything, and look, it didn't really work out for us. I'm just saying. Our ancestors fighting to vote for these people. For what? I'm just saying. Go along to get along, just to belong and be alive and have existence. That ain't no way for nobody to live. So, with the seeds of paranoia planted, and again, remember, a lot of this is to put fear in you. Some of it could be true, some of it might not be true. There's accounts in history to say there's some truth to it, but a lot of this is to just put fear in you. And what I've known, the courts and people in control, they hype up this fear so it affects the masses. So, A stream of accusations followed over the next few months. Charges against Martha Corey, a loyal member of the church in Salem Village, greatly concerned the community. If she could be a witch, then anyone could. Magistrates even questioned Good's 4-year-old daughter, Dorothy, whose timid answers were construed as a confession. Again, ain't nothing new under the sun. They still doing it today. The questioning got more serious in April when the colony's deputy governor, Thomas Danforth, and his assistants attended the hearings. Dozens of people from Salem and other Massachusetts villages were brought in for questioning. All right, so I'm gonna let y'all read this. I want to get over to Tituba, but apparently there were hold on, is it in this article here? There was something going on with some dog food and some powder, and y'all research that and look this up yourself. I'm gonna link it down below in the description box. But this all ties into the witches now we see in Hollywood with Beyonce and Jay-Z, witches over on TikTok. Again, everybody is not a bad person, I don't think. But every witch's intention is for evil. It's for casting spells. Some would say it's good, it's nice, it's you can rock with it, da 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 da. Others would say no, it's not right. No, it's not good. No, 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 Stay away from it. So let's get into Tituba. And then I'm gonna take a break and then I'm gonna start back up. And I should be able to go through the next slides within 2 hours, hopefully. But it's a lot. So Tituba, the slave of Salem. Tituba was a slave who worked for Salem, Paris during the Salem witch trials of 1692. The various documents and books about the Salem witch trials over the years often referred to Tituba as black or mixed race, but the actual court documents from her trial referred to her as an Indian woman servant. So, again, based off of this, there should have been no discrepancy to the $5 Indians and the indigenous black African Indians that were here, indigenous people that were here prior to Christopher Columbus and when he took his sail in 1492. Um that's why you got to pay attention and listen to history and reports, because here they can admit to her being black, mixed race, Indian, but I thought Indians were the ones we see today out on the tribes, the tribal grounds. I'm just saying, like, Tituba's early life. Not much is known about Tituba's life except that she was born in an Iroquois village in South America where she was captured during her childhood and taken to Barbados as a slave. But remember, before the Pangea split, South America and Africa was one. The same resources you could find in Africa, you can find them in South America. A lot of the people in South America got there by way of slavery. Paris, or an associate, later purchased her in Barbados when she was a teenager and brought her to Boston in 1680. In November 1689, Sam Paris moved to Tuba and his family to Salem after he was appointed the new minister of Salem Village. Tituba and the Salem witch trials. Now, this is crazy. Over a decade later, Tituba was one of the first women to be accused of witchcraft during the hysteria of 1692. Some sources suggest Tituba was named a witch because she allegedly practiced voodoo and taught the Salem village girls fortune telling. But there are no references to this in the court records and no evidence that she did this. And just like the Messiah, they will crucify you even when you did nothing wrong. All right? So it goes on to say, doing that, and Abigail Williams started experiencing strange. They could have had a disease. They could have been, but they blame people for doing witchcraft. Tituba and John helped a neighbor named Mary's sibling bake a witch cake, a cake made from rye meal and the afflicted girl's urine. Now this is creepy. This is and fed it to a dog, hoping it would reveal the name of whoever bewitched the girls. So she wasn't necessarily doing witchcraft on the girls. She was trying to do it to see who did something to them. So she wasn't really doing, I don't know what a witch cake is, but she wasn't necessarily doing it to harm the girls. This says she was doing it to find out who had harmed them. She was doing something to reveal the person or persons that were making the children sick. They took it as if she was doing something. So she took rye meal and the afflicted girl's urine and fed it to a dog, hoping it would reveal the name of whoever bewitched the girls. Oh, shoot, this audio here. I may play the audio, y'all. So the girls' symptoms took a turn for the worse, and just a few weeks after the incident, they accused Tituba, Sarah Good, and Sarah Osborne of bewitching them. The three women were promptly arrested. Again, she didn't do anything to hurt anybody. She did something to reveal if anybody was hurt, right? The Salem witch trials would have ended with those three arrests, but the events of Tituba's examination by Judge John Hawthorne in March sparked a massive witch hunt, according to the book Tituba, the reluctant witch of Salem. Basically, it says the epidemic of strange behaviors did not spread to other victims until after Tituba's arrest and her several testimonies beginning March 1st. At this point, she's like, "You're accusing me of witchcraft. I might as well unleash what I know on you assholes." She's like, "At this point, hell, I'm gonna terrorize the yeah. So you're right, I did it. Like Tituba's confession is the key to understanding why the events of 1692 took on such an epic significance. It's because white people in leadership blow shit out of proportion. That's why it's been going on since 1692 and it goes on today, all right? So it goes on with her actual confession and her talking, Hawthorne questioning her. It says, Tituba, what evil spirit have you familiarity with? She says, none. He says, why do you hurt these children? She says, I do not hurt them. Who is it then? She says, the devil, for all I know. Could be the devil, for all I know. Hell. And you notice how she said all. And when you read the Bible, baby, it says alt in that Bible. The Lord says if you have an alt against your brothers or sisters, you cannot go to the Christian altar thinking God gonna hear your prayer until you go and make amends with them. But this is a black indigenous African woman they're talking to right here, okay? 9 times out of 10, being born in South America, after the slave trade, right around 1692, 1680, whenever they said she was born, she was brought to Massachusetts in 1680. So it was right on the cusp of the 1642, 1640 Atlantic slave trade. She still talks like an Israelite, if you ask me. She says, he says, Hawthorne says, did you never see the devil? Did you never? Did you never see the devil? Like, you sure? You ain't seen him once? Tituba, the devil came to me and bid me serve him, like he came to the Messiah in the wilderness and said, turn these stones into bread. Jump off the cliff up there and the angels gonna come save you. Bow down and worship me. That's what the devil do. And it's very ironic to me that the Messiah, talking in Messiah 4, chapter 4 that is, turned the devil away. And the same bread that the Messiah said, thou shalt not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceed out the mouth of God. Why Christians in church living by bread when they have communion, and not every word of God that proceed out his mouth? So you can't tell me that somebody was not bewitched, okay? I was a Christian for years. I was bewitched, believing it. You're bewitched, believing it. Some of our ancestors, whether it was a generation ago or 10 generations, 100 generations ago, whenever Christianity started and they started believing in this, we've been bewitched. So, who have you seen? She says, 4 women sometimes hurt the children. So she's telling them, I see and know that it's 4 women that hurt the children. He says, who were they? She said, Goody, Osborne, Sarah Good, and I don't know who the other were. Sarah Good and Osborne would have me hurt the children, but I would not. She further said there was a tall man of Boston that she did see. So she's telling them, like, I see Sarah Goodman or Sarah Osborne. I see this one. I see the tall white man. You may think it's the devil, but it's actually people that's doing the devil's work, sir, is what I would have told them. So anyway, a little bit more here. It goes on to say, when did you see them? She said last night at Boston. He says, what did they say to you? They said hurt the children. And he says, and did you hurt them? No, there is 4 women and 1 man. They hurt the harm. Remember, witchcraft is all about evil and harm, right? They trying to harm her. They trying to get her to do it so that they can come out and say, oh, she did it with us, or she's the one that hurt the kids. Manipulating her into admitting she did something when she didn't do nothing at all. So it says, but did you not hurt them? See, when somebody said, did you not hurt them? You sure you didn't hurt them? So if she answered no here, right? First thing you're going to say, oh, so you did hurt them. My question is, but did you not hurt them? Yes, I did not hurt them, okay? That should be the correct answer. But they put this not and never in there, and you'll be no to the question, and then you'll be found guilty because the question says, did you not hurt them? No. Oh, so you did hurt them. Oldest damn trick in the book, y'all. So She was smart enough to understand the questions. Listen, whoa, whoa, whoa. But she does say yes, but I will hurt them no more. She does say yes, but I will hurt them no more. Are you not sorry you did hurt them? The question should be, are you sorry you hurt them? And somebody will be, yeah. He put in here, are you not sorry? And she answered, yeah. So she is saying on record that she's not sorry. She hurted them. All right, so that's Tituba. Listen to this right here. This is History of Massachusetts blog. This article was written on January. It couldn't have been written on January 2nd. Oh, 2013. It was actually written 10 years ago. Wow. Okay, so it was on January 2nd, 2013. All right. And it only received 2 comments since then. And it was written by Rebecca Beaches Brooks. And I'm about to listen to this video. Hold on, guys. It's coming on. Shout out to anybody in the chat. God bless you. And then I think when we come back, we're going to get into Derek Jenks' wife, Beyonce, Cardi B, Satin Sanchez, and some other stuff, y'all. It's a lot still. All right. Why isn't it playing? Y'all probably just gonna have to read it. I have it off. Hmm. No volume? Hey, what is going on here? I don't know. It's not playing, y'all. Yeah, it's not playing. So I'll below. Y'all can watch it on your own and listen to some of the court trials that took place in the Salem witch hunt. All right, so let me look where I'm at, guys, and I'm gonna see if I should keep going or if I should just shut it down right now. Like I said, I gotta go get some water, use the bathroom, and come back. All right, so let me see where we're gonna be next. Boom. All right, guys, hang on, hang on, hang on. All right, so let me see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 11, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. All right, so what I'm gonna do right now is to give you a little taster of Derek Jenks' wife, Danae Jenks, Jaxn Jenks, whatever the hell their name is. Jaxn, I don't know. I call it Jenks. JXN. All right, so I believe this man been bewitching his wife, seducing her, deceiving her for a very long time. And people will sell out their soulmates in order to make it big. Again, remember Paul said, Who bewitched you, O foolish Galatians? He says you started out in the spirit, but how the hell you ending up in the flesh? And that's exactly what this couple reminds me of. They had an opportunity to do great things for God and move masses in the right direction. But it's like the flesh gets in the way. And then once a bit of hell have no fury like a woman scorned, and your wife start acting like she the devil, something is wrong. So with that being said, without further ado, let's get into this video where Derek Jenks' wife wishes death on people and put curses on children and tell you to choke on your own damn spit, okay? After she quotes 4 or 5 books of Psalms or Psalm chapters or books you can read and go to back up her initial rant. It didn't make any sense to me. I told you in one of the other videos, my friend was like, she's batshit crazy. Something is wrong with her. Borderline mental health, borderline possession, borderline bewitched by her husband. He the one lied to her. Jesus ain't lied to her, although Paul used Jesus to lie to us. That man lied to her. That man seduced her and told her XYZ for her to be loyal. Then we just read about loyalty. All right. And people will use witchcraft to hurt you for your loyalty. And her loyalty to him is to let me go out here and ding dong anybody I want to, lady. And you just sit back and be mad and rant at the internet every time it happened. Like, no. So we're gonna get right into this. And ooh, and my Mr. T voice, I pity the fools, especially them foolish Galatians. I pity the fool. All right, let me catch up to where she's at. Write this down. Write this down. Write this down. Write it down. Put it in the chat if you can. Ooh, ooh, uh-uh. Ooh, ooh, no, 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 no. Did y'all see how she said, in the name of Jesus, have a blessed day? See, they playing in the church. This is what the church is doing for us, y'all. They out here playing. Now the Lord said, vengeance is mine, thus saith the Lord. Absolutely. And you should know what verses to go to where God tells you what vengeance is, okay, and how to avenge yourself and those around you if you care about them. Hell, but people in the church play. They play like this, y'all. Listen, they play like this. Where's the lie at though? People told you your husband was cheating on you. Where's the slander at? People told you he wasn't no good and out there in the street. Witchcraft. The paradigm shift is real, y'all. What used to be normal and acceptable is no longer normal, right? Normal and acceptable is no longer like that. Now people like this woman is totally confused about what slander is, about what lying is, and whatever the hell else she said. I try not to listen to her too much. I couldn't let it get in my spirit. Uh-uh. So how your husbands and wives become widows wishing death on you. if you're calling her name and slandering her. Listen to what she's saying. Let your children become fatherless, motherless. Listen to what she's saying. But this is a woman who has children. She wants y'all to be vagabonds like they told Cain. If anybody helped Cain out, you would be just like Cain. I'm gonna put a mark on your forehead and I'm gonna get you. If I don't care if Cain come to you and tell you he hungry, if you help Cain, because I don't cause Cain to be a vagabond. I don't cause Cain to go his own way. And it's a lot of Cains out here, and it's a lot of people still trying to help him too, wondering why they on camera like this, acting like a damn fool. Now, I ain't supposed to call nobody no fool, but it's some foolish Galatians out here, yo. VS, where you at, VS? VS, TSCC, Vegan Sippy Conscious TV. Girl, she's stealing your shit. Y'all don't like that on YouTube, huh? Girl, she's stealing your shit. Remember how you used to VS? I love you dearly, sis. I'm only over here talking my ish. VS, you remember how you used to, when somebody say some mean witchcraft bullshit to you, after you told everybody you was Jesus and she devil, and they started calling you evil and wicked and just demonic and da 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 and straight from the pits of hell and shit like that. VS will look you dead in the camera, dead at you. Back to you, back to your mama, back to your kids, whatever you say to me, back at you. And she got that from VS, y'all. VS was the first one I seen do that shit on YouTube. She like, I'm not keeping that. Whatever you speaking over me and mine's back at you. And that's what this lady did. And partly, if you hear somebody saying some old shit to you, don't hold on to that. Send it back to the sender. Return it back to the sender. That's what VS used to do. Now she talking like she got there slowly till your days become numbered on the earth. Like, girl, you crossing over. This is where she lost me at, y'all. She crossing over to this. You could see it in her eyes. She's soulless. She's hurt. Hurt people, hurt people. And when they start talking out their damn mouth, they use the devil is using them to an extent. Which one of y'all is the anointed and the prophet of God? See, I gotta have fun with you two all damn day long, but I've been leaving y'all alone. I don't bother nobody, but I have to start making my case. Which one of y'all are the anointed and are the prophet of God? And why shouldn't y'all be touched right now? Your husband for the way he treating you, and you for the way you trying to come at people because you trying to defend your abuser. Your Stockholm syndrome is fucking showing, lady. If this said Christian man love you, first of all, he take his selfish ass over there to the book of Corinthians and teach him about love. Cause y'all both can get touched. That's the problem in the black church. Y'all think y'all are the anointed of God. Some of y'all anyway, and think you can't be touched. And got people thinking that how you're behaving is the way the anointed of God behaves. And I'm here to tell you, I don't roll like that, lady. And a lot of anointed people I know don't roll like this, lady. And damn sure a lot of Christian brothers and sisters I know don't roll like your husband. She says Psalms, right? Let's just go to Psalm 141. Because what y'all gonna stop doing, whether the Bible is fact, fiction, fake, or whatever, of God, of the devil, whoever, y'all gonna stop using that Bible, manipulating people with it, all right? Enough is enough. It's some stuff in that Bible that can help black people get out of whatever it is the Europeans went down in Africa and did when they said, let's pray. They gave us the Bible and came up with the resources. They gave us the white Jesus and came up with the witchcraft on how to keep you loving white Jesus so they can keep you oppressed. So it's only 10 verses. 141. Lord, I cried unto thee. Make haste unto me. Give ear unto my voice when I cry unto thee. Don't sound like she was crying out to God right then and there. Now she might have did it in her personal time, but it don't sound like she was crying out to God right then and there. More damn like Hagar in the wilderness. Let me stop. Oh, because Ishmael is related to Abraham, whether y'all want to believe it or not. But he had them in the wilderness crying, baby. So, too, let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense, in the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice. The only hand lifting she was doing was pointing at that damn camera, telling you how cursed and how wicked and how fatherless and how spouseless you gonna be messing with her and Derek, honey. That waving that finger. 3. Set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth. Keep the door of my lips. Well, baby, your lips was parted like the Red Sea. Ain't no way in hell God keeping those lips, honey. Ooh, shoot. Mm-mm. Set a watch, oh Lord. Why don't people practice this shit before they come public and humiliate themselves? Make a damn fool of themselves. I thought you were a Christian and a believer of the word. You out here spewing out Bible verses that's actually telling you how to keep your damn mouth shut. 4. Incline not my heart to any evil thing. Whoa. Oh my God. Did she read this before she put this out here, or she just thought ignorant people was going to listen to her? Incline not my heart to any evil thing. Well, baby, out of the abundance of the heart comes the issues of life. And your mouth just said a whole bunch of hell just now. And you over here telling people to come read this shit and you ain't lining up with it. Something is wrong. You was better off handing people an Aleister Crowley handbook and opening up your mouth like that. That backs up what you're saying more than any part of this Bible do so far. Incline not my heart to any evil thing, to practice wicked works with men that work iniquity. Well, baby, Jesus told y'all you gonna say, Lord, Lord, I done let my husband cheat on me. I done got online and called people all kinds of childless mothers and fathers and told them they gonna choke on their spit and they gonna die. And Lord, I want you to heal me. He gonna say, no, 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 no. I don't know you, you worker of iniquity. Why'd you send me over here to this Bible verse, girl? Well, you didn't send me. I was led by the Spirit, but you put it in your commentary. And most normal conscience people, when they hear this, should go to these things if they know any better, look at it for themselves, and then they will begin to identify who's the righteous and who's not. But the church, again, witchcraft, got you thinking they're the righteous people. Doing most of them, not all church people. Come on, y'all know what I'm saying. But I prove to you witchcraft came out the church in other places down with the church. So she says, let me not eat of their dainties. It says, let me not eat of their dainties. What you think she eating on? What is her heart full off of? All right, so 5 says, let the righteous smite me. And I'm not really smiting her, but I'm showing her the errors of her spiritual relationship with the Most High God. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm smiting the lady, but if she want the righteous to smite her, that's what every God-fearing, believing Christian believer person in this world need to get a hold of this young lady and smite her. Not to death, but to spiritual awakeness. Because she sleep. It shall be kindness, and let him reprove me. It shall be excellent oil, which shall not break my head, for yet my prayer also shall be in their calamities. All right. Now we getting somewhere. She's saying, let them reprove me. Now, if you look at what she just did, she's begging for the righteous to smite her. Derek is not the righteous. The head of her household is not smite. They're not working from a godly perspective here. So she's looking for somebody to reprove her because she know what she's doing out here is wrong. But the church keep filling their heads up like it's right. She said it should be an excellent oil. If she ever get the real oil, it will be an excellent thing to her. She damn sure won't be out here caping like this for no man that don't love her. Oh, but then again, unconditional love, right? That's what they got in Christianity. The old unconditional love, which shall not break my head. Ain't nobody trying to break your head. Hard head make a soft ass, though, if you ask me. But yet my prayer also shall be in their calamities. Whatever. No, not for me. Your prayers won't, no calamities here. I'm trying to get you out of the calamities, okay? We ain't trying to all be calammed up together. 6, when their judges are overthrown in stony places, they shall hear my words, for they are sweet. What was sweet about what she just said? What was sweet about what she just said? That not sweet you, right? It not sweet you. That not sweet you, right? How did that sweet you? Unless you're demonic and like for people to talk like that, how was that sweet to the soul? Our bones are scattered at the grave's mouth, where you think the devil wanted to be. As when one cutteth and cleaveth wood upon the earth. 8, but mine eyes are unto thee. Are they really? Or are they to that man in that picture next to you you call your husband? Is your loyalty to him or is it to God? Are you obeying him or are you obedient to God? It could be done even while you're married or in relationships. Everybody is supposed to be in their own personal space with God. And if somebody pull you out of your character or out of that position, you have to begin to look at them like you may not be of God. This is not what God wants to me. Hello. The devil is the father of lies, and that's all you've been giving me, boo. And learn how to move around in this word. But mine eyes are unto thee, O God, the Lord, in thee is my trust. Leave not my soul destitute. God ain't trying to leave your soul destitute. Seemed like your husband Derek done that a long time ago, lady. Ain't nobody trying to leave you destitute but that man. The same way Jesus did the church. He done left, said he coming quickly, ain't coming 2,000 years later. And if you find yourself destitute, that's why. Until you stop believing that nonsense and start getting right with God right now, right where you are, so the destitution and all that can begin to leave you. You ain't never going to know what it's like to taste and see the good salvation, the goodness and the salvation of the Lord. 9, keep me from the snares which they have laid for me. No. Mm-mm. What if your husband is the snare? See, you thought God told you probably to get with him, but he's been a snare. I tell people in my family that all the time. Your problem could be is the person you laying down with every damn day. That could be holding you. They could be the one holding you back and causing you your destitution. Did you ever consult that with God? Or you just let the church tell you, oh, this is a good woman for you. Oh, this is a good man for you. Rearranging those marriages in church and shit. Listen, keep me from the snares which they have laid for me. Your husband is the only one that's setting snares and traps for you. Then the Bible says, be not ignorant of Satan's devices lest he gain advantage on you. So how you spewing all these Bible verses out here, being caught up, snared by your own husband, and you stay in it and be loyal because you're afraid of losing face. You rather come out here and curse people to hell and damn us all to death before you look at your husband and say, what the hell was I thinking? Keep me from the snares which they have laid for me and the gins of the workers of iniquity. The only one working you with iniquity, and it seemed like a long transgression, a long history of sin in your marriage, baby, is your husband. Did you look at him and damn him to death? Did you look at him and tell him his children gonna be fatherless and without a mama and gonna choke on their own damn spit? So why you out here telling it to other people that's just mentioning y'all name? See, if I was a weak Christian somewhere like somebody is who mentioned your name, they probably believe in that shit. That they gonna choke on their own spit, that they gonna die, they gonna be fatherless children. Blah, blah, blah. All because of what the hell you said. 10. Let the wicked fall into their own nets. Why the hell you ain't let your husband Derek fall into his own nets? Why the hell you keep being there the trampoline to catch him every time he fall? The righteous shall fall 7 times and rise again, according to Proverbs 24 and 16. But the wicked shall fall into mischief. And when you seen him with the first woman and then the second woman, all in the midst of you doing this rant, you gotta ask yourself, honey, where's his nets? And I ain't talking about the nets Jesus said cast on this side of the boat and come up and the net started breaking with all that fish and resources and good living and honey money. No, where's his nets? You want to trap somebody off in nets and snares and talk all this Bible shit to people, but you ain't talking it to your husband? Who are we to believe you? That last verse says, let the wicked fall into their own nets. Wicked people got their own nets. Y'all just keep upholding them. And the White House got so many damn nets, but every time y'all go vote for it, it's not going to fall into its own net. The Vatican showed you how many nets it got over there. But because they told you in the Bible that they're the people of God and got the knowledge of God, you believe it. And you won't let them fall into their own net. And all these other wickedness and places of wickedness seated in high places, you won't let it fall. You keep upholding it like Danae is upholding her husband. Whilst that I withal escape. While she trying to escape, she want the wicked to fall into their nets. But little does she know, she's the net that keep holding up her wickedness in her own marriage. Moving right along. All right, I think I'm gonna end it there, y'all. And when I come back, we're gonna come back with some more stuff. We're gonna get into the more of the Beyonce. It's all here, y'all. I can run down and show you my slides, but I really do have to take a break. I really do. So that's Danae Jinx. Danae Jaxn Jinx. However, whatever. All right, that's her. That's the breakdown. I just been sitting on that. When it came out, I've been sitting on it, sitting on it, sitting on it, and sitting on it, and sitting on it. And I finally got it out. And now y'all could go tell her what I said. Because you ain't gonna be throwing out no Bible verses to these people acting like that and think these people is gonna love God and follow God and want to be a part of God. The Bible already said y'all falling away from the church. That's because you was never meant to be in the church. Let me tell Paul that, okay? Just let me tell Paul. People should start falling away, should start waking up from the witchcraft, should stop choosing to be delusional and slaves around here, because that's all really slavery. It was an act of forcing people over here, but the fear to keep you in bondage and chained to a plantation other than the prison that don't even really exist no more, but mentally is still there. It's like the little elephant Ray Hagen talked about. The hunters came in, they stole the baby elephant from the mama, killed the mama elephant because that's the protector. Got the babies all alone by themselves like they did us over here in America, and chained us to a post and told us not to move. Years go by. The elephant grew. We grew as well. He didn't realize, though, his neck, every time he moved or waved his head, he got so big that he pulled the post out of the ground. But because he was so used to not moving, going anywhere, or being free, even with the post hanging on his neck but no longer in the ground, the elephant did not move. It chose to freaking stay there, people. And like Kanye West is telling us in a roundabout way, we chose to stay here, people. This woman is choosing. God probably took that elephant post off her neck, his neck, their neck a long time ago and said, this marriage is not of me. Probably washed his hands of this marriage a long time ago, allegedly. But some people choose to be an elephant. And then it happens. Now, I'm going to have a blessed day, and I'm going to continue to have a blessed day when I say this. If God swooped down right now and took your children from you, how would you feel, lady? How would you feel? Exactly. All right. So we're going to leave that right alone. We're going to leave her right there with her nets and her husband and the humiliation and all that there that comes with it. All right. So let me see what the next one is. No, okay. I'm going to stop here because this is where we really going to get into this a little bit deeper. So, yeah, we have to talk about Satin Sanchez. We got a little bit more Bibles. We got Sarah Bartman. We got a little bit more Bibles. Y'all, we got the Nigerian parents over there that's considering their children to be witches, and they just killing them left and right and leaving them by the wayside and just doing the most horrible stuff over there to those children. What else we got? We got celebrities, a whole bunch of celebrities that sell out to witchcraft. We're gonna talk about Kanye a little bit more. We're gonna talk about her name is Bridget Bishop. We're gonna talk about some more Bible verses, signs and wonders of witchcraft, what to look out for uh when you least expect it. I mean, this should help you go into your new year identifying the devils in your life around you so that you can begin to walk in freedom. Nobody wants to be bound, oppressed, forced into relationships that they necessarily don't have to be in if they can just get the courage to identify the witch, warlock, abuser, oppressor, person in their life trying to hurt them. We're going to get into Marie Laveau, relations to Beyonce. We're going to get into a little bit of Jay-Z and what witches he hangs out with. I mean, there's just so much. Larry Reed Live, yes, comes up in this a little bit, y'all. Larry Reed Live. Oh, yes, he does. Just a little bit, y'all. Sage, cannabis, all of this. It when I was doing this research, stuff was just popping up, popping up, popping up. Let's tie it together. Y'all Barb's ready for this? Nicki Minaj and Roman. Oh yes, we are. Cardi B and her Santeria. Oh yes, we are. And again, I want to introduce you to a young lady named, a woman named Black Witch Yaya, which if we go to her page right now and click on her videos, and the only reason I kind of rock with her because at first when I was learning about the Orishas, she put me on game. And as you can see here, if you're still with me, and I'm still streaming like I supposed to, you will see on screen. I'm still streaming like I supposed to. All right, so yeah, you will see on screen that this is Black Witch Yaya. She got 90.5K. Y'all go support her. And the reason why I want to introduce you to this side of being a witch or someone calling herself a witch is because she's doing good with the title in her name. But my perception and what I was thinking is if this woman right here didn't have witch in her name, she would be more well received around the world. I'm not saying people are against her because she has the name witch in her name or YouTube channel or whatever, but again, the spirit, the personality, how she vibes with people just does not say witch. And there was something I came across when I was coming to do my research the other day is this video right here where it says you don't have to do spells to be spiritual. So she teaches people you don't have to do the evil part of witchism or witchery to be a witch. So I'm gonna leave on this note. We'll come back when I start back up in a few minutes or so. I'm gonna start back up with so let me move her over here. We're gonna start back up with Yaya because the big vision board idea, vision board. Call me Miss Cleo. I mean, she got a really cool personality. He broke his family's generational curse. I mean, if you really want to know about Shango and Oshun and Yemaye, and when I tell you she break it down, she break it down. So she has practical magic. She has spell, the skeleton key, the craft. So she does sell things on her website like stones and things like that. But again, she calls herself a witch. I just don't get a negative vibe from her. And I'm not saying she don't do whatever most witches do. I just don't get that from her. So if I was to like support a witch or just a black woman who doesn't believe in Christianity and does think it would be her. So go over, please subscribe to her channel. As you can see, I am subscribed and been subscribed for years, all right? But this is Black with Yaya, and we're going to end it on this note right here, guys. I am going to stop sharing my screen, come back. Now, I know that was a lot. Shout out to the one person. Thank you for watching. But it gets a little bit deeper than we just, I'm a teacher. I try to explain things, give my opinions, show, yo, you don't have to be out here doing everything the world is doing in order to live right with God. It's just not, all that ain't required. And there's a big miscommunication coming out of the church and other religions surrounded around the church that tells you you have to be this wicked and this evil. And that's not true. So, thank you for watching. God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to take a quick break, refreshing up. Like I said, at least get myself ready for work tomorrow. That way, if I run over into like a couple of hours, I don't got to get worried about getting ready for work tomorrow. So let me do that. Um, yeah, because not only do we got the Cardi B, the Nickies, we're gonna talk a little bit about Shanquella and where the witchcraft for me comes in at. And yeah, that I think that's it. A couple of more Bible verses. Um, where is my video at? Oh, I gotta pull up one more video. It's the fourth generation witch. Seems like a nice lady. But as I was researching some stuff yesterday, she came across my desk. So I just want to put this information before you and present it to you so you guys are not ignorant. I mean, it's nothing wrong with learning this. Instead of the church teaching, oh, I can't say it even teaches spirituality or religion. Instead of it teaching money like it does, most people say instead of the church teaching you religion, it should have taught you financial literacy. I believe that's all the church is teaching people is financial literacy. And instead of the church teaching people how to get money and how to get the bag and how to make it, they should have been teaching people about this witchcraft, that even in the midst of searching money and out here being famous and influential, people are still under the impression or under the guise of witchcraft. And with that, I'm gonna leave it there, y'all, because yeah. All right. all the rest of this stuff. The Bible story I got to tell y'all about the woman of divination, the woman where Samuel went. I can even pull that account up. Remember, God says, suffer not a witch to live. Do you take out something and kill them? Oh, I thought you can kill people with kindness, but that ain't even true nowadays. But the word of God can set somebody's spirit straight. If it's dead, it can bring it back to life. And if it's living, it damn sure can cause it to, go to sleep. I guess. I'm just saying. So, with all that being said, I'm done here for now, y'all. We've been going a pretty long time. Oh, only 3.5 hours. That's my normal. So we're good with that. And I do apologize about any inconveniences or speaking ill or bad against any of your favorite influencers or whatever, but it comes a point in time where you have to make a decision. Are you going to keep following this wickedness, or are you going to line up with the word of God and try to do things right in your life for once? And that's the only reason we're here, to encourage you. With that being said, shalom. God bless you. Have a great day. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. I am still here. A little sweaty, but I'm here. All right. So with that being said, you guys have a good evening. It's 6:16. I will be back probably by 7:30, and we don't have that much to do. I can swing through this. A lot of definitions, a lot of examples, a lot of celebrity names are going to be thrown out here, examples, and so on and so forth. And with that being said, thank you for watching this episode of I've Been Bewitched, along with some of your faves. Have you been bewitched? Why are you afraid to talk about this stuff? I thought the truth shall set you free. And people are afraid of the true things that can actually free us up. If more people was talking like this, you don't think wickedness seated in the high places would get offended or notice it or have a problem with it? That's why they try to keep us silenced. All right, y'all, I have to go. Shalom, everybody. You've been watching Religion Wing TV, and my spiritual ear stay.
Welcome to Religion Wing TV, where my spiritual ears stay.
All right, and with that being said, let me see. How can I do this? If y'all are up for it, I don't know if y'all are up for this or not. Why can't I see it? Where is it? Oh, this is crazy. Hold on, y'all. I'm looking for something. Oh, right here. Let's do it. Let's do it again, y'all. I will see you on the next live upload and or premiere. God bless you. Stay tuned. Hit the notification bell. Subscribe, share. Get these videos out in the algorithm if you dare do so. I ain't gonna tell you like the church, God gonna bless you, but I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, let's see if we can kind of combat some of this wickedness that's about to be pushed upon our children. I mean, it's pretty bad, guys. And I'm only here trying to help us combat some of the wickedness that's going on in the world. And that's probably most people's calling, but when it comes to the church and being Christians, most people are out here perpetuating the evil and not trying to do away with it. Or as God said, eschew it. And if God told you to eschew evil, why would the church come along and introduce you to so much of it? May God bless you, keep you, make his face to shine upon you, be gracious to you. Let his countenance be in you, and his shalom peace be all around you.